We're going to hear some music. Oh, there it is.
Paenga o e Letio Vake Tarifolau. Ai whakawhehokotaki anga o e tonga I he kolope. This is Radio Vake Tarifolau, where Tongans can connect globally.
Malo Maria ho eki pe malo lele ai tonga ko tope o mau tanta lele ki motol ke tau Polokalama koia e fiafitu site pe ate tau kamata e pe mo e Polokalama nga maheni o e fiafitu site ka ko e Polokalama koia ai tau lama ma ai tonga koia ile afa te tu kwat leva ai tai mi ma motolo malo
apito Emeline pe ko tuko ai whakatapu ke o tō mafi. Pe ko kore whoki ke mau malu pe I tala whakatapu ko ia o ku pāwhaki I Letio Vake Tarifolau. Kai ata ke whakahoko ai Polokalama nga maheni koe ai tau lama ma ai tonga ai au whakahoko ia I he fiafi tu site o wike hono kotoa pe tai mbalu ke hiba. Pe koe fiafi koe ni koe e fiafi whakoloa eni. He oku I heni ai kau ngāue me he county ko San Mateo. Pe a koe osko e whahoha a, pe te uhanga rewa o tukuange, ki a tupou, ke nau taktaha whakawhiloaki mai pe ki nau tolu, mo e potu ngāue ko nau ngāue ki ai. Ka koe o whakawhiwhia au pito, I koe kulupu koe ni o ku kawai e ango ki whawhine tonga e toko ua. Ai a ko tupou unga, pe a mo mere seini hafoka. Pe a o koe whakoloa ke au pa ko fia mau pe he kusio koe ki he whanau tonga o nau kau he whainga ngāue koe ni. Tau te whito ke ngāue koe ke tokoni koe ke community. Maata, te ke whakalea pai kai toke tukuangi ki a tupo.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mata, and I work for the mental health clinic in East Palo Alto on 2415 University. We're on the 3rd floor. So it's good to see all of you. Welcome to the Taulama for Tongans program.
Hello, Mata. Tupo?
Nice to meet you. Hello, everyone. Malolui. My name is Tupo Unga. I'm with the County Executive Office of Community Affairs, and I'm an outreach coordinator. And our office is located here at the County Center in Redwood City.
Malo. I think you're going to introduce yourselves one by one.
My name is Sarah Feldman. I am an immigrant services coordinator with the County of San Mateo, and I work with Bo at County Center here in Redwood City. Thank you so much for having me.
Malo.
Good evening. My name is Lillian Toshiro. I'm a sergeant with the San Mateo County Sheriff Office. I am in charge of the Community Engagement Unit, which oversees adult programs and work with the youth programs in our community. Thank you for inviting me.
Malo. You can tell by now Malo means thank you. Okay. The next one.
Malo I work for the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office as a deputy, and I'm assigned to the patrol unit in Half Moon Bay.
Thank you, Merseni.
Hello.
Last but not least.
Oh, thank you. My name is Jose Aguirre, and I also work with the community programs by the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office with the Community Engagement Unit. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jose. Don't you feel blessed? You're just one in how many women now, surrounded by all these beautiful women?
Totally. Thank you for having me. I'm feeling special. Thank you.
Emily?
Wow.
Okay, your turn.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Emily Makahili, and I'm from Radio Tonga Vake Tarifolau. It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Emily. I understand that you already have, I don't know how to bowl. Is it each one of you will share, or do you have it a set up of the way you're going to do it? So
Yeah.
I was talking to Tupo because what's important to me is that the people understand what this is about. And so I know there are many of us who speak English, but there are also many of us who speak Tongan. And Tongan is a very, it's a complex language to interpret or to translate. Because Tongan it's really weird because we have, in our language, we have 3 tiers of language. There's a different language, one language for the king and royalty, one language for the chiefs, and then there's another language for common people. And so when you try and translate or interpret, you have to be careful because there's also a subject that you cannot discuss in mixed company. Like if there's a brother and sister or women and men in the same group, there's things that you don't talk about. And especially if it has to do with your health or any sexual context, that's taboo in my culture. And but we try the best that we can. And I will interpret, and Ma'ata will help me to interpret as we go along. But Bo has also told me that they can provide flyers, and what I can do is translate the flyers, and we will distribute the flyers to the churches because that is how we communicate with the community. But for this, because there's just as many people that speak English well, so feel free to just go ahead and do it. And if we have questions, we will translate for you. We will interpret for you. So, Bo, you're going to go first?
Yes, our department will go first. Before I begin, thank you again, Leafa, for having us this evening, all of us. And so, like I said before, Sarah and I are with the County Executive Office of Community Affairs. And before we get into further discussion, I just want to talk a little bit about what we do in our department. So for my role, I serve as a community outreach coordinator. So my role is to support community members and residents by connecting them with resources available within the county. I also engage a lot with the community. Sometimes I coordinate events, and sometimes I collaborate with different county departments to better understand and respond to community needs. I'll pass it over to my colleague, Sarah.
Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you again, Leafa, for having us. And I love the opportunity to learn more about the Tongan language and the Tongan community. So I'm grateful for that. So just about my role, I'm an immigrant services coordinator. So my job involves sharing information and resources with immigrant communities in San Mateo County, working closely with community-based organizations and with county departments. And so this evening, I just want to share a little bit about some of the resources that are available from the county right now. I know that it's a moment in which many in our communities are feeling stress and fear related to immigration status and immigration issues. And our hope is to help our communities here in San Mateo County feel empowered, feel connected, and know that there are resources and that the County of San Mateo is so glad to have a community with diverse immigrant roots and populations. So with that, I'll talk just a little bit about a resource that I think several of the people on this call already know, the Red Card. There is this wonderful tool. It's called a Red Card. If anyone is a soccer player, it was designed to be read to kind of be like the red card in a soccer game that stops the play. And so the red cards that we have have your constitutional rights on them. So everyone in this country, regardless of your immigration status, has certain constitutional rights. And the red card is a tool to help you know your rights and exercise your rights. So on one side of the card, it has instructions letting people know that they don't have to open the door if immigration officials are knocking. You don't have to answer any questions if an immigration official tries to talk to you. Everyone has the right to remain silent. You don't ever have to sign anything that you don't understand or sign anything without speaking to a lawyer first. And there are other resources too in the county that are available to help people exercise their rights. So still talking about the red card, if you would like to get a copy of a red card, we do have them available in Tongan. I'm going to drop a link in the chat where people can find a copy of the card in multiple languages. There will be one side that's in Tongan with an explanation and instructions for whoever has the card. It says, don't open the door, don't answer any questions, don't sign anything, as well as some more details. And then on the other side of the card, there's always going to be a message in English that's designed for an immigration official, letting them know that you're asserting your rights. So before I move on, that's kind of a lot. So I want to check if there are questions or uncertainties or clarification that would be helpful.
I have a question. Have you heard reports of, let's say, a Tongan family or Tongan person that was stopped by ICE? And what happened? What was their experience?
I am not aware of any individual specifics involving the Tongan community. I do know that the type of immigration enforcement taking place in San Mateo County right now is generally targeted enforcement for people who maybe have a deportation order already. So there have not been at this time any raids or checkpoints in our county. But of course, we only know the things that are kind of reported, which leads into the other resource that I would like to introduce, which is the Rapid Response Network. It's operated by Faith in Action Bay Area. They're a wonderful nonprofit if folks are not already familiar. And they get some funding support from the county, so we're working very closely with them. And essentially this network is able to support people if they do have an encounter with immigration enforcement. So there's a hotline that people can call. That number is 203-666-4472. I'm also going to put that in the chat. And if, someone is arrested or stopped by immigration, that number will be able to connect them or their family to attorney legal support, as well as if someone was deported, additional support for the family members. If there are rumors of ICE activity or immigration enforcement activity, the Rapid Response Network can verify what's going on, ensure that there aren't rumors and misinformation spreading and causing fear, because that is one thing that we have seen in our county, is that people will see some kind of law enforcement activity that is not immigration, and they might think it's immigration, and then rumors start and fear escalates. And we don't want people to be navigating false rumors and feeling that unnecessary fear. So we really want to encourage, when in doubt, call the rapid response hotline. And they do have access to interpreters, so they have Tongan speakers who they would be able to loop into a call if they needed, to help with any communication barriers.
Thank you. Because we hear not a lot of rumors about ICE interaction with my people, but we have heard that people were caught and they were deported, or there was a family that either went back home and they came back, and they were for whatever reason because they're supposed to all have their papers, but they were sent back. They were deported from the airport. So I don't know whether those stories are true or they're not, but it causes it doesn't cause panic yet because there's not that many stories, but it's uncomfortable for people because they fear, and so most of them, I would say, let's go to the airport to get someone who's coming, and they don't want to go to the airport. And I know that it's people who don't have their papers yet, but that is something new that we're hearing that, and we're feeling it, how they have this fear of going to the airport. But so far as ICE raiding,
not here in San Mateo County. Not in many years.
Calls. I would get phone calls and tell me that the ICE is sighted at some shopping center. So in the past, there's been like 3 or 4 shopping centers that I get calls that ICE is there. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I'm told.
We've heard a lot of similar rumors, and most of the rumors that I'm aware of that the Rapid Response Network has been able to verify have not been ICE. Most of the rumors that we have seen have been related to either scams to scare people or a local law enforcement activity that was just misinterpreted. And I think the deputies on the call can speak more about that. Yeah. But certainly, when in doubt, call the Rapid Response Hotline. They have people in every pocket of San Mateo County who are able to go check out what's going on, document if needed, and just ensure that misinformation is not spreading. And I'm also going to put in the chat our team, our community affairs team, along with Faith in Action, posts reports on our social media, on Instagram, when there are rumors that are then found to be untrue. They let people know. So I'll put in the chat both accounts where people can follow our office as well as Faith in Action to make sure that they're seeing those updates.
Thank you. Informed. Thank you very much. Bo, are you next?
That was pretty much it. Sarah, was there anything else?
Well, do you want to let folks know where to get red cards? Yes. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so there are a few places already that have red cards, a few Tongan nonprofits. Anamatangi and EPA, they have some Tongan red cards there with them. PCRC in San Mateo, and Sela Tukia, she also has some in her office in Burlingame. And we also city halls in East Palo Alto and San Mateo and San Bruno also have red cards, Tongan red cards as well in their office. And you can also, I'll put it on our chat, you can email directly me or Sarah if you would like to have some Tongan red cards, and we can coordinate some drop-offs so that anyone can have that as well.
Thank you. Maata also has red cards. Taulama has red cards. Perfect. Maata and Cecilia, they both have red cards.
Okay.
Is there something else that you want to talk about, Bo?
No, I think that's it on our end. Sarah, was there anything else?
Emily, is there anything that you want to ask there, Paul, before we move on? Emily?
Sorry. Mahalo Lefa. I'm just going to ask Paul to clarify to the listeners that the Tongan red card, you don't give it to the ICE agency if they, but give them the English one.
Oh, not the Tongan version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because clarify with the listeners so they can understand it a little bit more.
See, because of the different red cards and where they're printed, depending on who form this red card, one red card, one side is English, one side is Tongan. Another red card there's a Tongan red card and there's an English red card. So it's different.
Yeah. Sarah, do you want to add on to that with?
Taulama translated our own. So Lefa translated the red card. So I don't know where the county, got the translation for the red, but Lefa translated our own. So we printed a couple of hundreds of red cards. They've been sent to places like Hawaii. The needs came from other states. So Cecilia have been mailing out, the ones that Lefa translated to those who have requested from other states. So,
but I there was something like this years ago when I was still working at the county, and I had translated a red card then. But the county I don't know what the county did with it, but when it's needed this time, so there were no translations, so I had to redo another one.
So the ones that the county has now that we've been sharing, they have Tongan on one side, and that's the side that's instructions for the user. And then the other side has English, and that's a message for an ICE officer. So one side would say, in Tongan, don't open the door, don't answer any questions. But then the other side would say in English, I do not wish to speak with you, answer your questions, or sign or hand you any documents based on my Fifth Amendment rights. And then it goes on like that. So I don't know about the other ones, but the ones that the county has available now, they would be, you could hand it or hand it under the door, slide it under the door, or hold it up to the window to show an immigration agent that English side.
The first card that we translated, Maata came with the English version. Was that from the county, Maata?
Yeah, I believe so. But see, the red card that we got were both in English, but two different. How do you explain it? Two different explanations or whatever. So one card was explaining something, one side was explaining something else. They're not the same, for both cards of the English. So that's why we decided to translate both sides of the English and then just do a Tongan on both sides. So, but we let the Tongans read the Tongan version so that they can understand, but give out the English version if ICE shows up. Do you understand what I'm talking about? There are like two different explanations, like your rights for the Constitution, and the other one is what you need to do when they show up. So they're not the same. So that's why we translated the English version and have both sides in Tongans, because the first English red card that came out were different things on both sides.
I think the first card that you brought, Martha, the one with the two sides in English, I think it's just the difference is a little bit more comprehensive than the card that the county has now that they're talking about. That's why it's easier for them to just have one card, English on one side, Tongan on one side, which makes sense. But the first card that we received that was a little bit more comprehensive. That's why we weren't able to do it in one card. So you needed to do it double-sided English card, double-sided Tongan translation. But I think they are both cards will enable the people to to use. So I don't think there's any problem about using either card. Okay. Is there anything else about the cards?
No. The rapid response that you talked about, Sarah, the Office of the County's Office of Education, they had an event. That was the event that I was supposed to go and translate, because they did a presentation. I think they invited a person from the rapid response group to come and to do a presentation, and nobody showed up. I was there to translate, but I don't know how they advertised this event, and nobody showed up. So the translators for the Spanish, it was supposed to be a multi-language event that was hosted by the Office of Education, but nobody showed up. Just the translators that showed up. So the rapid response person just did her presentation to us translators. So I have the cards with all the information, and they said that they have translated it into Tongan, but they haven't sent us that version.
I can drop a link in the chat right now that has that version. I need to find it, but we actually have it digitally available. That the translated Tongan yellow cards with all the rapid response information. So if you go to the link I just dropped in the chat, you can also get to it more quickly by typing smcrapidresponse.org. And then there are rapid response posters. There's a place where it says download rapid response posters and cards here. And then you'll see Tongan poster and Tongan card. And if you click on those, that will download the Tongan cards and posters with all of that rapid response information.
My question is, does the county print out those cards and give them to us to distribute amongst our people, or not?
Yes.
Or are we supposed to download it and translate and print out
I think
cards?
it's already been translated.
So all you need to just go get a pack of it?
No, there was she was supposed, the person from the rapid response group came, she said that she was going to send it to me so that I could revise the translation to make sure it's correct. And then I would give her the okay, and then the county would print the Tongan version.
Right.
So we're not supposed to print it, Lefa. It's on the county to print those cards. So, but she hasn't sent it to me. But I can download it from the link that you're giving me, Sarah. So I can. She wanted us to review it to make sure that the translation is correct before the county can print it. That makes sense.
And if you'd like, I'll just put our immigrant services email in the chat as well. And if you want to loop us into any communications about that, we are more than happy to help. Just let us know what would be the most helpful.
Yeah, but that's what she told us, that the county can print it for us.
Yeah, because that is so useful. Especially if you're confronted by ICE, I don't think you'll be able to speak. I won't be able to speak. I'll be scared. So you just hand the card.
No, I think it'll be. They wanted us to put together a group, for Lefa, myself, Cecilia, to bring all the Tongan community together, and we do the presentation in Tongan, and they'll just be there to answer any questions that they may have, but they want us to do the presentation in Tongans. They gave us the slides, which is not too many. So that's only I find myself and Cecilia to put together. Maybe we can go to the churches and put together a group so that we could do the presentation in Tongan, and then we can distribute the cards. Those yellow cards already translated into Tongans, and distribute them to the different churches. But that's what they want us to do now, is to gather the community together. I mean, to get a group together. Because they were hoping that people would come for that last event, but nobody showed. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's that's always an issue with people showing up. Like for us, we believe it is useful, whatever it is we're trying to present to them. For the people, they have more important things to do. So it's up to us to get ourselves to work with the churches and try and convince them that this information is very important, or whether it's for health-wise or for the immigration, but it is important. But I believe that the county should lead this, because the county is supposed to take care of the people, right? We just happen to be people that are there in trying to help. But that's a county function. And so print the cards, county, in Tongan and English, and we will distribute.
I know right now what we already have are just the red cards, but we can see about getting a batch of the yellow cards printed as well. And if you could take a look at the language and just make sure that it does look correct and like a good translation, that would be great, because we want to make sure that folks are getting the information in a way that it is as easy to understand as possible.
Okay. Thank you. Bo? So is Sergeant Tashiro going to share?
I think we'll have Jose Luis will
okay.
We'll lead on to the next presentation or discussion.
First, Malo, did I say that right? Thank you. I really like Deputy Hafoka to really help with this process, but I know we're here to just provide some support to let you know in the law enforcement capacity. I think the Office of Community Affairs has done a tremendous amount of outreach to really educate and try to figure how to get the people there. I think there is probably that concern of like, if I show up, or is it an ICE event or something? I think people just naturally are kind of afraid of what is the current, what's currently going on. I thought that this Zoom was a great opportunity so that we are all like on electronically on a computer, that the information that we can share is really helpful. We have policies in place for the sheriff office that we do not cooperate with immigration. We do not detain anybody just on their immigration status. We don't arrest or detain in any sense. These are all policies set in place with our sheriff office. Nothing prevents us as far as if there's something criminal in nature. It doesn't matter documented or undocumented. If it's something criminally that we have to investigate, that is what we're investigating. We are not investigating about their immigration status. That is what we don't do. We are just specifically, we're called to a service to investigate a crime. Some things as far as if an ICE agent does come, like if, you look at our uniforms and how we identify ourselves, if there is a law enforcement personnel, we would say contact the 911 and verify if a sheriff office or sheriff deputy or East Palo Alto police officer is there a police officer outside my residence. And with how we conduct business, like the dispatcher communication knows exactly where we are and when we're making contact. Trying trying to think of some additional items. There are also some state laws that we also we don't ask about your immigration status. We don't arrest you only for immigration violations. We don't use ICE as interpreters. We don't share your personal information with ICE. But mind you, too, is if they did a public search and they found that name or something to that extent, then that's their investigation. But we, as a sheriff office, are not providing that information to ICE agents. We don't hold anybody at our jails if they are in our custody, and we don't hold them for immigration. And we don't let immigration agents, if they're there to interview anybody who's in custody without a written consent from the person who is in custody. I think there's several things that are like really important that we are defining as far as our policies and procedures about what we don't do. We really don't care your status of the immigration. We, as a sheriff office, only safeguard your safety. We investigate crimes that happen in our county.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's really great because it simplifies it for people, and I think it would ease the anxiety amongst people when they hear you talking about it. I can talk about it, but I'm not a law officer, so when you talk about it, it's important and it matters.
And that's why, like, Karen or Jose Luis and folk at everybody in the sheriff office, we try to network with the Office of Community Affairs just to provide the information or any kind of questions regarding law enforcement and those type of questions regarding ICE.
Thank you. Okay.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. One of our clients' mom came to the clinic and told us that his son was stopped by the police outside of McDonald. He was coming out of McDonald in East Palo Alto, the one on Bay Road and University, and he was stopped by the police and was asked if he is legal here, and to have him show them anything that shows that he's legally living here in the United States. So luckily, I think he had his green card or something with him that he showed them, that this was the police stopping him. Wow. He was coming out of McDonald's. So the mother came to our clinic and told us what had happened. So I don't know if the mother was telling the truth but she just wanted to come to the clinic and told us what had happened to her son who was coming out of McDonald, and the police stopped him. Like the police officers, I think the police officers in East Palo Alto stopped him, and he was asked if he had proof of his legal status here in the United States. So I don't know if that's...
Yeah, so I don't know what East Palo Alto's policies are, but I can assure you what the sheriff office policy is we don't do that, and it's prohibited in our policy.
Because we were surprised, when she came in and shared the story with us.
I would be too. What are some great technology things that most police agency and law enforcement agencies are body-worn cameras? Body-worn cameras will have that, and if there's a policy set in East Palo Alto and he's actually asking for such, supervisors can review the video footage of a body-worn camera if he's violating policy and definitely get in trouble. And another thing to protect the community is like the technology in the world that we are in today. I would say go ahead, take out your camera, take out your phone, video the contact too. If you're in front of the house and you put that red card saying, I'm not going to open the door, I'm remaining silent, and have a video, and see what this ICE agent is doing. This is also for your protection and your video evidence of what's happening and what's going on. So if that were to happen again, I would, there's I'm just recording it for my safety, your safety, and I'm just going to record it. I don't care if someone records me. I'm doing what I'm, and if I'm out of policy, then, I'm going to get in big trouble and you're going to have video evidence of me doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing. So, again, I don't know what the East Palo Alto's policy is, but that might be something to take a look at and see if there is some footage of him making that contact or inappropriate contact. But again, I can't speak for East Palo Alto's policies and procedures. I'm just going on behalf of the sheriff office procedures.
Thank you for clarifying that. Emily, do you have a question?
Yes, I do have one question, Leafa.
Okay.
First of all, thank you, Taulama, for have a great program tonight to have invited some of the law enforcement so that the community can be able to listen what they have to share with us. And I understand this is a sanctuary state, which is most politics are trying to protect everyone that have the right to see a judge before deporting them and so on. My question is, even though we all know what California are made of, right? And the Sheriff's Department, they have their own policy, like she said. East Palo Alto Police Department, they have their own. And of course, every other agency has their own. My question to you guys, professional, is there any pressure come from either side of the aisle? And I think that's my main question. Because not all California are Democrat. I'm sure there's other Republican. They have some other plan that they have. But I'm just wondering if they're pushing some kind of agenda along with this administration to either San Mateo County or the state or whatnot. It's just a question. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I may be able to speak a little bit to that. I can't, speak for any individuals outside of our county, but there is a law in place in the state of California. It's called the California Values Act, and it actually prohibits at the state level local law enforcement, including both police and sheriff, from asking about your immigration status. I can't speak to anything that may happen in the future, but the current California law prohibits any police and sheriffs from asking those questions. And I'll put a link in the chat to a fact sheet that goes more in depth about that law. But it's a good law to be aware of, particularly if there are any questions around what local law enforcement is or isn't doing. I don't know if other folks want to touch on that as well.
I would like to add something on top of what Sergeant Lillian Tashiro said about asking, reviewing the policies or recording. Everybody has a supervisor. So always that we encourage the community is if you feel that you have been mistreated or something was not fair, you always have the right to ask for the officer or the person's name and then go to the supervisor and ask, about what happened to you. Because, that happens to the community. Sometimes they are afraid, they feel intimidated, and they do not report anything like happened to them. So we want everybody to feel safe and feel empowered, and as we said, everybody has a supervisor. So if you don't feel like the things are right, you have, of course, the right to go up to the chain of command in that case and ask, right? This happened to me. I just want to review the policies and I want to see if this is right. So this is something else that we can add. And also, Sarah, you mentioned that like state law is we are in California, and I think this is totally different from other states where we can see police officers or sheriff deputies probably doing some immigration work. But here in California, the law says it's prohibited. And as Sergeant Lillian Tashiro mentioned, the policies in the sheriff office are clear, like not cooperating with ICE, not asking for legal status. So we want people to trust, right? And we don't want people to become victim of crimes and not reporting because of fear. We want people to see the officers and the deputies as a resource, right? If they need something, they have the opportunity to talk to them, knowing that they are not immigration. So that's something to add to the topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jose. I'm sure quite a few of us will sleep well tonight after hearing all this information.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for sharing that important law for the state of California. And that's something as a broadcaster we can keep reminding people. Stop going to other states. Stay here where it's safe for now. Try again next 4 years or 5 years to go to other states. But even getting on the airport, there's a lot of stories coming out, whether it's true or not, but even most of those stories come from American that they said that they have experience at the airport when TSA asks if you have a what do you call this real ID thing, and if they're not, then they put these people on a different line, which is a line toward ICE for more screening. Whether the story is true or not, but that with that kind of information coming out, it scared the heck out of a lot of people. And what we do, we just advise people, unless you just got here from the island or you're on your way to New York on a meeting or whatnot, continue on. But people have been living here for over a certain amount of time. They got to be knowing their status. Just be more careful, because maybe that's something is not going to work for them. And even to today, certain green card holder and even citizen are making the news as well. So, like you guys said, anything can happen, but at least it's good to know, be aware. That's all. But thank you, Sarah, for that, sharing that information about that law. I didn't know about it. Now I do.
Glad to be able to share some good news. And I will also just add that airports are a more vulnerable place where people don't have the same rights that we have out in public. I am not aware of resources in Tongan about your rights at the airport, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to a resource in English, but it does get into some of what people might be able to expect at the airport, as well as what are your rights if you are a U.S. citizen, or if you are a green card holder, or if you have a different status at the airport, because it does depend, and that is a place where people have less privacy than we would in our homes or in the street. So just a good thing to be aware of.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, and the advice that the presenter from the rapid response groups gave us was to advise the undocumented not to go anywhere. Just stay put. Just stay here.
For the whole 4 years?
Something like that. Just to be safe. Don't go anywhere. If you have to go to Salt Lake or somewhere else, drive. Don't fly.
Yeah, because, the reason why I'm saying this, because even green card holder, let's say they have their green card renewed and whatnot, and obviously they forgot that they have some sort of ticket or something to do with either misdemeanor or felony, depending what it is, and they didn't know that a judge wanted to see them. And those are the kind that they stop them regardless, for what we know, as far as we know, reading the news. because we do news every morning. So what does that mean is that they saying they're holding them until they sort out on regard to some of those tickets. So that's why I'm saying even if you're a green card holder, it's not safe to travel at this any given time these days.
So they'll hold you and then deport you?
Huh?
They'll hold you and then deport you?
Yeah, they'll deport you if you violate according to the immigration law. So that's why a lot of family are confused, because they said, okay, this guy have his green card for 30 years and they expect him to be back after he went out of the country. But when he got back in, ICE pick him up because he have some ticket or whatnot that the family did not know that he have something to do with seeing the judge. And when people have green card holder, and if they did not, even though the judges was dropped, but they still have to see a judge because they did violate some of the immigration law, whatever the case that is. And I think some of the experts on immigration were sharing that to the news about those type of people that got stopped even though they have a green card holder, and the family trying to figure them out why they're holding them, and that was some of the answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
One of the things that she pointed out was if you have a green card, you're not supposed to go and stay more than 6 months outside of the United States. Because if you come back after 6 months, they're gonna stop you. They're gonna deport you. That's what she wanted us to make sure that the people to let the people with green card know they're not supposed to stay more than 6 months outside of the United States. Because they're really, really looking out for people who are returning and, who have green cards, but they're returning after 6 months. They're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna have problems coming back to the United States.
Okay. Thank you. Now we won't go more than 6 months. Bo, I think
no more vacation left for the next 4 years.
It's okay to go, but there's rule. There's something that you have.
No guarantee coming back, Lefa. I'm sorry.
Okay, unless, I'm not going anywhere.
Unless everyone got their citizenship.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, then you can stay for however long you want.
All right. Maybe you, Bo. I think the last one to say something is Mary Jane. She thought she was going to get away.
No, I didn't. She just said everything. So I was like, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, I would say thank you for including me in this meeting. It's a privilege to be here. But I definitely want everyone to know, don't feel discouraged or scared to call just based on your immigration status, because that's not what we're looking for. If there has been a crime or you want to report something, feel free to call, because we want to help you investigate or solve some sort of problem that you have going on. There's plenty of times that I'm out on the streets and we'll contact someone and they'll be hesitant to give us their identification. And I'm looking at him you just don't have a light on your bike. I'm not worried about what you're doing. I just need some sort of identification just to write down some sort of ticket or something. But yes, it's definitely real. The rumors that go around, especially in the coconut wire here for the Pacific Islanders, my mom will hear something on Facebook, or one of her friends will tell her oh, ICE is over here. And I'm like, ICE is probably not there. And then she'll tell me the location and it was some DUI checkpoint. I'm like, stop listening to Facebook. I was like, I know you have your papers, but I was like, stop watching and listening to all the things that you're seeing online. I was like, which it's great to know now that you could actually contact. I didn't really know about the red card until I saw Bo at the PCRC event that I went to last week, and they were passing out the cards, and it has all that information there, and then you can contact ICE or the hotline to know if ICE is at that location, which is awesome. And I feel like that'll put a lot of people at ease because they are scared to go out and travel. And, we shouldn't have to be scared to leave our houses and whatnot. So, yeah, I definitely think you guys should just, when in doubt, just call if you guys have an emergency or something.
Yeah, and I think the information that you're giving us has all those numbers listed. And that when that is translated, then it will be distributed to the churches and just to groups of people randomly, so that they will read it and you'll have some security in going, even going to the store, because when they hear someone would say, "Oh, Ross, by your house in that shopping center, ICE is there." So I would say, "How do you know ICE is there?" Because their uniform or whatever, it says ICE somewhere on their caps or their wherever it is, but that is ICE. And I said, "Oh, okay." So I would call people and say, "Don't go to Ross." And but for us, it might not mean that much, but for people who are actually here undocumented, and there are many of those in either Pacific Islander or other countries, and they're here and their life is disrupted, and they have this new sense of insecurity because of what's happening. But so the more we talk about it, the more I have people like you talking about it, and I think they have assurance, and they feel more comfortable. They don't feel panicked, and and be scared to step out of the house, because I think that's the worst thing that this happening is doing to our people, is making my people love to go outside. They like to go shopping. They want to go to the beaches. We're outside people. We're not house people, to stay cooped up. But if this makes them scared enough to just stay inside the house, that's really sad. But I think we're almost running out of time. Do we have any more questions? And please come back. If you have more information, if we have more issues that we encounter because of the program itself, because the radio, Vake Tarifola, will keep on putting this out. And then the next program that we're going to have, the Consul General promises she will be present. Because I keep on telling her, these are your people. We're Americans. These are your people. So you need to come and listen. But she had a sudden call from Tonga that the crown princess is here in Arizona, I think, attending some function. So she had to leave us, and I guess I can see why, because between the princess and us, the princess outweighs all. So that's where Stella is. And I said, "Okay, Stella, just promise no more princesses for next time, because we really want you to come. You are your people. We are talking about Tongans, and those are your people." But I am just so grateful. And this was a really great idea, Bo, that you bring your co-workers, and then we have Merceini, and I'm so proud to see Tongan faces, especially amongst law officers of the law. Makes me feel more comfortable. And thank you, Sarah, for all the information. And I look forward to, unless you don't want to see me anymore, but I look forward to seeing you next week. And if not next week, if you're busy next week, we can do it the week after. I'll just make sure that the Consul General stays put till we have our meetings. But thank you so much. Martha, you have something to say? I know you have a lovely beach behind you. It makes me homesick.
You guys want to come over?
There's a coconut palm tree and a beautiful beach.
Thank you all for coming.
Okay.
Yeah. I have nothing else.
Okay. Bo?
No, just want to say thank you again for the opportunity. I think I'm just super grateful that we have the opportunity to collaborate with different county departments, CBOs, nonprofits. That way we can educate each other. And like Mary Jane said, I seen her last week, and it was my first time actually meeting Cecilia from BHRS. And so I didn't realize who she was. I connected with her and gave her some Tongan red cards. Know your rights, Tongan red cards. And so just things like that, little by little, we'll just continue to collaborate and have meetings like this, discussions like this, where it's important. And so thank you again for having us all.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sergeant Lillian Tashiro. I was trying to guess. I said, Tashiro, that's Japanese. And somebody else said, no, that's Filipino. I said, no, that's Japanese. I was arguing about your name.
Oh, I'm Japanese, Pacific Islander too. Come on. I'm like, I gotta be joining this group too.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, we're always available to help, like, put the fear away or at least bridge the gap. So whatever you want from Sarah, feel free. You could always reach out to us too. And whatever event we can help send the message.
Thank you so much. In my country, when we meet people like you and we work with you, you are adopted. So you're now all Tongans.
Malo.
Okay. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you so much for having us. This is a great conversation and very important for the community. So thank you for organizing it.
And we do have feasts now and then. So the next time there is a feast, Maata, Meliseni, Bo, don't forget, we have to invite our new family.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Dok mea mai aki he Polokalama koia ai taulama ma ai tonga. Ai ane whahako atu e whiawhini ka koe Polokalama ngā maheni a whiawtu site. Te tau hoko at pepe mo e tau Polokalama, ka koe Polokalama hoko, koe whawhola e whala, ka area e kaina, ka inga, ai e whahako atu ia e Sosifa Mafi, pe au sponsor e Polokalama koe ni e Gifted Hands a Care Provider. peke tau Polokalama ko ia Gifted Hands Care Provider o tonga tau taitari tupe mua ke o ata tau whaki whanonong o tau hokoko atai pia.
Peke hihi for raffle, koe luluni koe lulu o ngahi lulu, koe pale ni manoa e lului. Ai au ia e pale paanga e wafe moe tahafe, mea lele se a fit, moe mea lele se a nima, koloa whakatonga, tikite wakapuna mei tonga ki Nusila, mo Australia, moe foki. Misini fo, si tau kalasi kehe kehe, seti TV, mo henga, mo hono whakamulu. Kono kifa nifua, koe kane puluma sima, puha sipi, puaka tunu, mono teki tek paanga, puaka toho, puaka mui, moe kalasi kehe kehe oi puaka. Koe teki te ki paanga be e honfo. Koe luluri e whahokoia isi ulai aho nima, i he holo fatu fala i kolowai. Penudak melewa ki a Pauline Taposi Bay Area, fika telefonia no ni manoa, tolu walu uataha walu nima. Ki iuta, penudak a peo monga loa, walu noa taha, nima taha tolu, fitu noa hiwa fitu. Ki Portland, Oregon, luhama kalam mafoni, nima noa tolu, fitu wha noa, walu hiwa wha. Ki Seattle, Washington, penudaki ki a Casanova Lutui. Ye fia telefoni ua ni matolu, tolu ono walu taha fitu walu nima. Ki Hawaii, penudaki a Malekamu, whangai uiha, fika telefoni, walu noa walu, tolu antaha, hiwa walu, nima walu. Ki Sacramento, penudaki ki a Palestini sione tua Watson, fitu noa fitu, fitu tahaua, walu hiwa noa taha. Koe whanonongo ia, mihe komiti wa henga hifo USA.
Koe pasa o sapate whae o wafe wanima. Hoi mo ka inga koe tau pasa e ni ma e sapate whae whahoko i ato nako no ngaful o mea i e holo so dia i e tuasila ono ni mataha El Camino Real mi Redwood City. Koe ai. O ka bau fia maku whatawa tau mea kai. Peko hanga hingawe wha mea. Peko ha mea peke ma oi ha se niti ki sapate whae. Peko fiu tak mai lewa le sita ho te pile. O whakangata pe lahe ngai te pile. Fia ma o ke tua kia tau pis. Whainga business pe ai le vau te pire. Peka bau te ke mau sapate whae. Peke lava mai a pasa ke to kumei hau teu. Pea mo ta eva o kai pahia. E fatwa ia ke te fatwa ia mata. Pea toi fatwa ia a vae. Pea hiri o ai e fatwa ia aho o wale ti. Fitu tak mai leva ki fika telefoni fata hanima fit whanoa tolua tolu ki sekeritari moana mo unga pe ko fika ono ni manoa to no fitu nime taha ha o mai laka mai me mai lava mai pe ke to hire mai he ko lau mario sapat fa e de tau ma ko to hen o fala hiatu me ka tani ma ofa afa fine tonga o e Bay Area. Medio wake tai whalawa tau tai mio se mi te hiwa pea me i he hiwa pea koia hoi kume kainga te tau hoko at lewa ke tau Polokalama koia o e fofolai whala kai a lea e kainga ko Polokalama ko ni sponsor ia Gifted Hands Care Provider pea e whahoko atu pea e tau Polokalama fofolai whala kai a lea e kainga e seo sifa mafi. Ta whakenia e Polokalama mahu inga o pito ko hui o tau wakai ai ki he ngahi mea mahu inga e ngai whai whanonga e tau mo ui pea koe e whakamalo o lahi atu heni e sio sifa ko uhi ko e tukutaimi ke whaha o koko mai a hono whahoko e Polokalama koe ni fofola e whalaka e area e kainga koe le peke ak motolo mo mea mai lava peke ke mea mai o kau he Polokalama tā mai ke fika telefoni ono ni manoa tau noa fit nime ni mataha kau mai ke tau Polokalama koe ia o houani sifa na tau mai fia fini pe te utuka te taimi ke kamata mai elewa e tau Polokalama malo sifa.
Malo pito Emily fa malo mo e malo e tau mo e ngau mo no fa hoko ki tau tolu i he ata mo ongo i he Letio o au mai ke hoa ko ni e fu aho ngau ko ni o au mai ke hoa ko ni ko va be peke malo lo e man puna ki aho pumpongi ko ate fa malo mo ku fa manata tu Emily ke wana ngalo e whamanada tuho mo pasa koe ke aho mo furu ki kau whanongo
o fi whakahawhen ke kau whanongo Letio mai I o kau aku mai Polokalama koine ko whakawa tāma ki atai I he fofola e whala kai tālanga e kāinga o ku makatunga pe whoke ku maa e whainga maari e me he taim ko tuku mai he ni ma ofa fine tonga e whainga maari ka te au e ku maa uinga pito e nau Polokalama ko ia ke nau pasa ko ke ahongo fulu o e maina katu ko ku whamanata e mo tolo e Polokalama ko ni ko Polokalama ko ni o ku atu ai ngahi talanoa ke poupou ke ngahi ngā awe peheni ange ko e ke ai ni whaalame ke ai ko e ngahi mea ko e o ku kai ke matukutuku o tānoa ke ai ko e ulunganga e ko hihe ko e ngahi mea ai ni kune hai e society ka mo e ngā awe whakakurupu we mo ui whakatātaha kene hoko koe fo isino peta o whiongo ngoi pia ngā ai whakataha ki ha tau mua ke nau lawa mea e ba u whaalawe foki ki he ngai mea koe ni ka neongo ia ko o kore pe ke u hufangatu e ngahi talamalu o e whonua ko o si whai atu me he Letio o ku hingoa ko si o si wha mafi pia ko taitari leiki mo tolu ka e fofola te whala ke ata ka whai tau po tānoa ko ia ke ngai mea o ku o manako mau pe ke tānoa ki ai I he whakaukau koe mea eni o ku nehanga o whalaka I e tau moui me he ane afi ke ahoni me ahoni ka pongpong o ka pau o tau tānaki mai ke he tau moui la koutui ko tuola he taimi ko nofo pe he whakaukau koe ni o tātānoa me ai pea I he ahoni o ko fie hoko atu e talanoa ki he whonga o tau whakaukau ke tau hanga o tuku atu ai peku tau hanga o ako I ai ulunganga ki he whanau I ha whonga peku a tepto I whakaukau ko tānoa mau pe whoki he Polokalama koe ni o kai ke manako ke tuku atu e whakaukau whakafo itu ia aku ke whepaki mo whakaukau a te ukakapa mau pe ki ha te whito I whakaukau e mei lawa ke tau whakatahai pea koutui koe po tānoa koe ni ko ke ikore ai pe whoke a tā pe nga hirea mahinongo fua ke unga aki ki he talanoa ko hi ke lawa ke yahane ki mahino mea ko whenge whamatara ki ai pea I he o ku whihia e ku whakaukau he taimilahi e whenge whamatara e fu I whakaukau o ku honorea whakawarangi ko e discipline o tui o ku kai ke fu manako e kau whanongo toko lahi ke ngā tua ke rea whakawarangi ka ko hika fo irea ko ni o ku ki loloto ange ia ki o mahino ange ka te au ai uhinga o ku kehe ia me tau tānoa whakatonga ko a ko I e whanau pea o ku kawai mo hono kinikinis pe hono tai o whakatonton aia ko fo irea pe ko ne taha ko tisapilini ne kawa kato aia e umea ko ia ko whielawe fo ki ai ko uhi ko kehe ko ia ai ulunganga ko o kulelei me he ulunganga ko o ku kovi ai ko tau behe pe ko lelei mo ko na whehanga hangai le waki nao pea o ku kau foki ai tangata o ku mapure ia I he tangata ia o lelei ange he tangata o kai kene lawa mapure ia pea o ku palparema ia foki pea mo society pea pehe ki he politiki pea mo wha sosiare mo mea wha ekonomika pea mo wha tautaha mo ngai family ai ko ngai palparema anga mahen ka koe taimilahi koe ke tau nofo o whakatonga ka koe launga anga maheni koe tai whakapoto koe kai ke whaito tonu kai ke anga tonu ai ko ngahi ulunganga ai ko tau tano ko ki ai pea o wi kai ke ko to taha o ku itawave pea ko ke lava whamau ma ke lava o mapure ia pe ko hataha o ku loto si ke tu mau he mo ni ko o ku ne ilo mo ni i tai mini foki i he ngahi politikare i he mamani hange ko amerikani ya pe he ki Tonga ai whakaamu e kakai toko lahi ke mau hakau taki o nau mau e ngahi elemeniti ko ini i he nau whonga ngāue pea o ku i he mara e pōtanoa koe o ku anga maheni ki ai o whaia e sawe ai i he anga e pōtanoa e kautangata he mara e mamakawa o ku o kai ke utu iau hawa ko hinga he ko sawe ai ko me ai ko ke sawe pe ki grupo pe ka ko tu pe lava pe ka fanongo o mau ha ki fa ka ki ai o pe he ni hia i time kong nau tano ai ki he me hopo i o tau fonua mo fonga ngawe o pe mai le ba he ni inga te au ko tangata ko nga tonu ia i Tonga o hia ne ki na ia pea kaya na ina to ko fanong pe mo awi ki ai o fa kau mo pe o ku pe ko ha fa kau ai ka kai ki ta no pe ni he ku fa ilonga mai na to lu ya o pe ko ngai pot nga awe ia ka te au ki ta anga to no ai e fe hia to nga ia o kau nga awe pe ko kau ta ha ia kita ako fa kau ko ki ai ko hinga ko ku manako ko ki ta no ai me ko ni mai ma winga te au o ko pea tau kako tau whanua koe whanua u lotu pea to ia ko mai kakai whakarakaraka ko ngā ko ai pe ke kau tangata ko ni nau ta noa pe ha nau whakakau ki ai nau sio mai pe pau tarangi ai au ke to mahau inga i lotu ia mo ia ko ka tau tolu i he whangata noa pe he kai ke ko ta no ko tuku atu e au ia o kai ko ha me ai au hawa he ko ki grupu pe ia tala noa ka ku whalanga whakau ke tau whakau ko tui pe ku oskolos pe ngai mea ko ni he tau whakau a whainga ta ke mau ha tangata o ku wanga toton pe whapoto ko launga i pe i he ngawe anga mo anga ko tau whengawe aki ko tuku aki i pe ko kau tangata o kai ke nao anga ton ka tau ngai ta to lia ku tau ngai ta ton hai le ke ka uhinga pe he kai ke fai me to ton ange ko tau tu ki ata ka ta ka ngai aki e ka politikare le ko corruption pea kai ke ko tu ko pe fa ka ke fa ka mai ke ai ka fanongo pea un ka pe fo ki ta ranga ka ko hi ko tau fika telefonia na ke mo ko mai ka pau ko ha ngahi fa kau ke po ke ngahi po ta no ko ni e go tu fo ko uhinga ta langa ko foi fa kau o ko tu ku atu pa malanga pe ko ke uhanga o pe atu ko mo onta hai ka gua vai madapa he guai mo fa kau ke ta langa mai ki wang ho fa kau pa tau to ki fai si ai o fa fio na ke ngai o tau ta na ke ngai me o wai le ba mana ke le i po ta no pa ko tu fo guai ta da ko ke fa ka ta ki ka po ta no ko ia i he public media ba mo ngai feitu ka mama ta ke ai pe va vere va ke tu ko poinia ta no ka na kolos na to ke u me o kai ke ola le ba ta no ka i he ki fala ko ni o fofola ko fa fe ki mo to ke mo o mai hanga fa ka o ta langa mai me mi ho ta fa aki ke ta wa ba ki ngai fa ka ko ni o ku la ve i fo ke au ko ngai fa ka ko ni ne o sta langa ia he ka tu ki mu ai he ilo o ngai me ma alunga ta o ka wa i fo ke ngai me ko ni pe aku ngai mea koe ni tāno ai whapuri a whokia. Ko hiko e rea whapapalangi o mai ai ia. Me he ngahi tohi ai kau tangata filosofa. Una ngai agna to rea koe virtue. Ka pau kua wei o mahi ngā tāpe ka ka kono mai no. Ko ngahi lele ia nia. O ku ihe lau maari o e tangata. Pea tau uia ko ngahi elemeniti. Pea aku whaamua e he kakai. Ai ngahi mea ko ni ke haki tua mai i he whonga ngā ue. Ai ko uhinga ke ngahi mea ko tānoa ngā maheni ki ai. Ko ngahi virtue e nima. Ko ngahi elemeniti e nima i he lau maari. Ai ko e whapoto. Ko e anga tonu. Ko e anga moko. Be ko e loto toa. Pea koe ngahi urunganga ko ia tau ui ko ngahi urunganga o e lau maari e. Ui whapalang ko e holiness. Ia i tamtaha e mahalo e tōke heke e whakatonga ko hoko pe e taibilahi. Ka kou whinga peke mahino atu ko hinga he tau taranoa i ngahi mea o e lau maari. Ngahi urunganga ia haa me he lau maari e. Pea koe whaamulahi taha e kakai hange koe tau pehe ka pau tau tānoa he politikare. Koe launga lahi taha e kakai. Koe inga kai ke haki tua mai a ngahi plunganga koe ni. I he tala tūtū ni. Pe koe i hono tataki koe e whonua. Pe koe kau tangata koe o kunau mao e lakanga whatat mua. Pe lawa pe ia ke whae launga koe i he whamiri. Pe lawa pe ke hoko i he mui whakatau taha. Ka koe ngahi mea koe ni o kai toi riri uia. Koe ngahi mea e nia. Ko pau ke kau mai ia he te moui. Ka te toki tau pehe. Ka toki lelei e te moui. A te hoko ka tangata lelei. Ka kou tuke. Ka pau te iahandi ihi te nau. Pehe nau tau kwaiha mea ta. Tene hanga o whetonge ngahi mea koe ni. Ka koe anga ia tālanga. E lawa pe ke tālanga mai i he tau whala o e pōtānoa. Ko hi ko tau mahau inga ia i he kahau mo e tau mo ui mo e tau mea kou whai e kou tui whoki a uia e Amerika ma asione o ka pau hei kai ke kau mai a ngahi mea ia koe ni o mau taimi a piako ia mau taimi a wharelotu mau taimi a e tau nofo teu o tau whamiri. Ka pau kai ke kau ngahi mea koe niki ai. Pea, ukiai e rea ni he kau tangata whau o karisi, nau pehe. I sing not, I care not of him who accomplished noble things. Kau kai ko tangata ngaton. Ai ko bego whakatonga ki whao whiofpe i kai teu whalanglangi pe teu tokanga ki hataha au ne lava hangahi mea lava mea hangahi mea larahi ka o ka pau koe ki angaton koe whainga rea au ne hanga tala mai ai mahu inga koe ai ngahi mea koe tu harea tau tānoa o maolonga nge ia i he te lava mea pe ko hakoloa au te mao aia koe whamamafa ea ko tō mai peke ke whanonga peke koe ngahi mea koe ni na upehe whoki koe ngahi mea koe ni he whawhetapa atu o ene whepikitaki pea moe mai politikare pea te ki tātā no atu e ta whakoia koe ngā whoki koe whoilea koe koe politikare koe lea whapaparangia ka oku uhinga ia ki he tala tūtū ni pe koe tataki Bea aia uhinga lewa ai politikari ki ai Bea upehe lewa koe ati au maalunga taha o na ui ia i lewa whapaparangi koe royal art ai politikari e koe mea kotoa peu tau whai koe ngahi art ai koe sino haa mai ki tua ngahi mooni o tau whakakaukau i o tuku mai e ngahi anga au tau ilo ai fo i mooni koe ia ma lelei koe ia tau ngāwe i lewa ia o haa sino mai Ko hinga ia o kuia i koe ati. Pe au pehere wa mo ati ma alunga taha koe politikare. Aia koe uhinga lewa u ta noa ke ai. Koe politikare foki o ku kehe politikare e tangata pa kusio e kakai ia ke politikare o ku kou pa ku hange kunau fo e ta noa whaka politikare. Ko uhinga ia i he politikare koe o ku kai ke sai. Ka koe hei kai ke tau i tau tolu ai politikare. Ton pe foki tau i politikare koe koe politikare ko. Koe politikare le ia o ku haare vai ai mea koe ni koe o ku pehe toka lahi. Kuna osi au sia pepa na urea aki. Koe kau mai ai o tua i he tala tu ni pe koe. Tatake fonua, tatake family. Pea, kouti wako harea ia o ku ofu atu. Kouti o whetaulaki pe ia ka moe anga koe ngahi tānoa koe ia, ngahi institution koe ia o nawa koe ia ulunganga. Pea, upehe foki he Polokalama koe ni o ku teke whakataha mo ngahi institution koe ni. Aho no tala noa i o ulunganga. He koe tau mua o ngahi institution koe o lotu mo ako. Koe reform mo uia tangata. Pe kono ai taha ke improve. Pe improve koe ia, upau ke kauai ai ngahi mea koe ni. Hanga e koe ai view koe ni aku me he Polokalama koe ni. Pe aku atape ai whalai po taha noa ke te tānak maa ngai whakaukau ki ai. Pe ko ha o mai ha whakaukau e taha o pehe to e laka ngai. Ka o ku mātunga whoki e ku whae taha noa koe ni, e whaunga koe ni. O ku ikai ke whihia ia i ha toka te line. O tā noa i ngahi tefto i whakaukau o whenga ki he whakaukau o tau whekau akoto ai. Pea o ku tau o kai tau tonu ki ai. Ko i ngā koe tau whiema o kotoa koe ke tau whakalakalaka mo tau au sia re rei taha o mo ui koe o tau whanonga ia koe i he mamani. I tau whakatoko taha mo tau i he family. Pea pehe ki he mo ui whakasosiare, mo i whakapolitikare, whakaekonomika. Koe viu ia me he tālanga u whai atu me he whalako fofola. Pea Emily, pepe ation. Hamon mo pe Emily ka pau ha taha kohi mahena pake hanga peo tuku mai ke whahata anoa ki ai.
Ia, koe no ko sio pe ki ai. Kai a taha e rea mai te wanga tuku atu.
Kai a. Bako hoka tuku ke tānoa, koe tānoa koe ni la tau tau koe ni ko uhange pe a tau ilo mea ke pe ka ki he anga koe ia e tau whekuki koe ia mo e urunganga. Pe hange koe whuilea koe nau tuku atu koe discipline. Koe whuilea koe discipline, koe whuilea hange koe a koi, i he tau no whakatonga.
Koia.
Ka aku kaua i ka pau te sio ki he dictionary whakapaparangi. O ku kaua ia a hono a koi whakataha pe a mo hono koe a koi ke talango fua ki he ngahi lao mo ngahi mea ko fotu ke mui ki ai koe ngahi mea ko lelei. Pe koe kouti koe a oe behavior o ulunganga. Ka aku kawai pe a mo ki tau te ai koe tau mea ni koe whai koe he tau ke iki nai whai he tau mātua ka tau tolu. Ka ku tānoa pehe foki he taimini hange koe ni koe tau he whonua muri. O kai toi whai ai kinisi a koe nai whai koe i Tonga. Nai kinisi pe tau tolu au ke tau lalahi. Nai ke ui pe ia koe te sapilini pe ia. Ko hi koe uai ngahi mea kou hoko he tuunga. Aia he kai ke ufu e tataha ke pe ni whakaukau ki he whunga disciplini. Ka koe fo imoni koe disciplini, koe whunga ia hono disciplini ki tau tolu he taimi tau mamahi ai, me taimi tau fia ai, koe te to i mooni ia o e ako, kamata pe me te keisi, koe te auraha ke ko fulahi, ku te mao e whakaukau mo e poto ko ia o e sio e mata e uhinga, o te ilo e mea kou tonu, o kai kehe pia moto ulunganga kou te anga maheni ki ai. O ku, taimi kou na kehe ai, pau whainga tā ia rewa e te mo ui, he te ilo mea kou tonu, ka te whihia kita i he mea o kai ke ulunganga anga maheni o kai ke saika kita. Pia e whainga tā ia rewa e te mo ui. Eo tau tānoa whakaukau en, mo tānoa uhinga pe, i e ngai mea koe ni, hange kou whaahawa ko atu. Pia, koe konga mau inga fo ke tau whātau ngai ai he whikau agi mai pō tānoa ai mau inga koe ke tau tānoa mo whātau ngai ai uhinga e koe whakaukau uhinga e ko te au koe taimi laha e tau mau hala ke he uhinga koe fo i mea ai uhinga hala tau ipera tō koe uhinga kaku koe uhinga ko me ai koe ke hala ia. Ai koe uhinga ia tonu. Ka koe ngā koe tau, nā no koe ki ai he ku, koe nā tau lau e fo ke kamata anga, ki he whanonga mai ai sino materie mo lau maare, i he individual, tō taha taha. Pea, koe ngahi ongo, e nima, o si mahi no pena tau tolu. O ne tataki tau tolu i he mea whamaterie. Ka ko tau nā tula e tau fie ilo, ki he mea kou tonu. Koe nā tula ia tau tonu. Ka pate tau aha ka whātonga. Ko tau fie ilo koe ke mea kou tonu, he kai ke mau ia he tau ngā ake ongo. Ko hui koe ongo ia. Koe ongo ia kunde aini koe tau sio, mo tau whanongo, mo tau nā mo i e mea o kai ha. Taste. Koe umea katoa koe ia. O ne hulu e tau mama materie. Ka koe mama materie ia, o hangea ha mohe misi. Ko hi koe, o peko hangea ha mohe misi, dai mo te mohe hai o misi, te sio kita ki he me, ahake kita koe ki ha mea pehe ia. Pea pehe a mama koe ni o materie. Koe mea i o whiriuri waki. Ka more be, ka whanongo, i he whata anoa ku whai ko tui ko mea peku, o ku mo ilo pe ngai mea koe ni, ka ko whamanatu pe, koe hi he ku whekau aki pe moe mahu inga koe ke tau ngai ake uhinga. Koe uhinga rewa ia, o kai ko ha mea ia materie. Koe mea ia, o lau maari, o tau kore tokon, o tau ui tokon tau tolu ki ai. Tene toki hanga e ia, o awe tau tolu ki he mea kou tonu, ta take aki tau tolu ki he fo imo oni, o ku whai ki ai talanoa i he ngahi institution ko ia e lotu, ko ngahi mooni o kaito e whiriuri waki. Ai tau talanoa koe ki he otua, o tau talanoa ai ki he mea ku hauhawa. Sai, ko wau mai koe ki ai, ko i ngā koe ngahi kehe koe o tau whakakaukau, o ku iai e pako whenga ke ki tātāno ate e tawha koe ni, e kou tui pē nā tokoni, koe uhi, koe mea au hauhawa, tau osi whanongo mau pē tau tolu ai, ta tau pē a neaf me ahoni ma pongpong. Sai, kaito e liriu ia. Ka koe tau sio koe ki he mea koe ia, kehe ia. Sio au ia, o kehe ia pa sio a Emily, peko sione, peko pita, kehe katoa ia. Sai koe ngai kehe ia koe ia, koe kehe ia mga tuunga hei te sio. Ka koe mo oni tu mau pe ia. Pea, ko omi koe ni ke ofi mai e whakau koe ni, ko tui pe kau whanonga pau te mui ofi pe na mahina pe ki whatanoa kwhai. He kulahi au bito ai whekihi aki, ko hi koe ngahi viu koe ni o tau mau. Ka aku tala lewa he to ta haia ko ene ko viu ko ne ma ko ia monta hala katoa o tupu ai te tāparasia ai ni ko te ta no moia ka ko o tui foko e whakauau ko ni ku o ku kai ke whaawa ulele e sio ke ai tola ko hinga ka lawa ke tau tano ani rei pe tau tano ata ko hawa o kai pe to i liu ya ai ko ngai mo ni hawa ko ia tau fin ke tau ilo ko hi ko ngai ilo ko mo ngai viu ko tau mau ko ngai viu ia i ngai le volo ko o e mama o tau ia mama ko we feel mama ko tau ko hinga ko consciousness o ko awareness ko tau ia ngai le volo keke ai ko ne mama nge ko ai me ko ke ulo la nge mama ke he tau sio bea e ke ai pe ngai mo ni ai le volo ko awareness fa mo be ta no be ku ngari mo fo ya ni ka ko uhinga ai ta no he fe ku ki tono ai u me ko ni pe mo me ko ku fa ai ka ke fa fe mai no aki ko uhi ko ko ni algo e mama ke malunga fa la versione che hai he potano quella yang ko e mahino ko lele yang e tano ko ne sisi ang ko e mahino o ku la ya mo veu pa ko tu tau la pe si o ke ko pe ya ngai fe tu to fa aba pe ta to ke to ta ko to pe ka ku tau mo e fra potano ko ni ki ko ngai me ko ni o ku o ma ho inga pe wai tau to ton ki ai ko me ia ke to ki ha be ata ko tau to ton tau to ria he ko tau fe ma o ke tau ma o ilo o tau natulai ke me o moni pe ko moni ko ia te ni fata ta ina i tau to ko la he ko mama ko te ilo o ku to mo le ai ri fia ka asima e ulunganga ko na tau tano ki ai loto lahi mo loto toa ko te ilo te mea whai o ku kai ke te oho ki he ka ku te wha ka taki pa te toki ngā unu ai ku hinga ke ai rea koe mapure i kita e te sio pe kita ia i ngai hauwhanga koe tamau koe lawa mapuke puke ka ia i taimia e wesia hauwhanga ia he kai ke lawa o mapuke puke o no loto i he pōtarano a pe koe ngai wheto aki Pau kanga lewa ngai ulunganga ko ni o ai tau tolu ke ta hoko tangata o lele yang. Pe nga unu lewa tau mo ai tau fai me ton pe fo poto. Aia ni kamataanga e Polokalama ko ni na tuku atu pe ko ngai ulunganga ko ni ko ngai ulunganga ia o ilo. The characteristic o knowledge. Ana ia fo ke ku lave ki mua. Ki ha la o taha kau poto karisi ko le lei tabe ko ilo pe ko kovi o tabe ko ka ke ilo o moni ai ko ilo me moni pe i ka ke ilo moni ta ui ko ignorance fa parangi na feanga nga ako ompe o tuku mai ke fala po ta no ke tau lue le lei pe o po ta no mo fa mo ai pe ane aonga i hanga koe o e tau whetutaki e tau mo ui, mo e tau whiahui, mo e pōtā noa, o a oe peki e whetu pe tau pōtā noa ai. E koutui o tau mua pe he ai lakanga whakataki mua. Ke ne hanga o ke iai ha ilo ai, ai a koe ilo o ne mao e poto, ki he maau, mo e wonga taha, mo merino vai ta mita foku kai ke fa mama ta no ai fa connect ta no ko ni pe fa ta pe ki ya ha fa fikao ha ta ke to itapu e fa connect ta no ki ha kona ke sisu aia ko ya kona ke sisu i hene ha mai ko ya ngai ta no ko ni una fena pas de rei au pito i e uhinga koe ki he merino aia o ku hoko le rei lewa ene tu mo ene pe mau inga maari ai ngahi ako naki ke whaka ngai he tau mo ui. Aia koe merino koe tau mo aia o koe me e whakahai koe me aia ai poto. O koe me aia asi e koe he tau tānoa. Koe ilo o whakapoto ia. Be aku whai me au tonu pe moko. Ngai urunga koe ni ne hanga ai e no fo o ma opo pe malu. Pe koe hanga ia e viu me fala e po tānoani mo whakatanoa me heni. O ada me foki ia hani ihi waha nau ki tānoa mai e moe ki he koe poine taha ko whe tāna ki atu ki he whakau koe ni. Ke tau whakau ke ngai lelei koe ni. Hei kai ke tuu whakataha ia pe exist, pe nau tupu whakataha, pe amai tai ilo. Pe koe ignorant, kai ke ilo ia e mohoni. Koe ke nalawa nau aia, hange koe tau ataina. Hei kai ke exist, whakataha tau ataina ia, pe moi ignorant. Pe koe tai ilo. Aia ka pau whakapouri au pito e te whakaukau a taia. Me ngai mea kou mōni. O koe ke peaceful e te mō ia. Koe ke fumerino ia. He o ku whaingata ia. Pe au ku kou tui whoki tau whamoni ko toa pe. Koe tau whanonga koe ni he mō ui koe ni. O ku whaingata ia mō ui. Tau wha, ka ku koe te whito koe ni o ka venga e tānoa koe ni o ku hanga atu ia ke o whaingofua e mo ui he taimi kou te mawai ai māma koe ia o ilo pe alahi ange koe ilo whaingofua ange o tu iau koe mea pēa ku mahenu ngofua pēa ki a te mōtol ka whanongo whamanatu mau pe toa lau ka au pe au whaetange he whai koe po tānoa. Pau maare ia mau pe he ko hinga hene ongo tonu koe e tānoa ko ia. Koe māmanga e whakakau, koe lerei ange e po tānoa o merino ange. Pe au o ngataha e no fo, pe a malu rewa e whamili, pe a moe whonua. Aia o ku mara pe koe ani ina nau pe he koe hai uhinga pe he koe mea whakapolitika reni. Ka koe uhinga koe tuunga koe o e tala tuutuni pea mo e politikare o ku hanga ia ke tawa usia ai nofo malu mo merino pea o ku whapatonu lewa ai kawenga koe e ulunga ia ke ne whakaha mai ka tau tolu koe me aini utau whie mau ke lawa ai koe ai hoko ngai tau ngai whie mau koe ia pea koe hanga ini ne ngā ue i he tālanga ia me he whala koe ni kua fofola. Ka ia i peha ngai tālanga e whai, me atu e tawha kehe, wa tāpe me tau Polokalama. Koe tisapiri ni, ko tui peu teke fu maamarelei he tānoa, ka ku tui pe, ko hiko tau whainga tā ia i hono kinikinis koe tau whanau i he whanua muri. O ku te wate ki whakaukau koe ni o ku haha molofia ka uku iai o ku iai ai whonga o ku ui koe time out ki he kaureka wa koe time out ai koe ki te tae ki tae ki reka kau awe whakatautu haturiki o peito pe koe whare haturiki o tautu ai kai o lewa ku fie maari pe toko mai ka koe te tae kita e ko tu ia o mamahi lahi angere ka ai pa koe pe mahalo mo pe mo ngai matu ai o te le ane nau fotutu ke ngai me peni pe a wai ni hia nau to ai device pe koe hange koe telefoni pe koe me kong nau ngai ki o tui o na ilo pe to no la ka ko ki me pe ko fa pe ke to na aunga I he anga ko ni e ku lave ke me ko ni ko tisa plini aia kono mahuinga ke tau aluha ke pe o tawanga maheni ke ulunganga o fena pas pe a moe tau pe ko ala ke fa na wiki a ko ke tu nga na la fe unga ke na fa kau pa na ilo e uinga pe na o wika ile o ke feki hia ke uinga mo na wanga maheni o tu na fa ali pe da no ko ni ki mo o tu o ko tola he mo to le mo fa kau ke ngai me ko ni ka ku ki tu ko te ki fa o kau fa foi tu ko ya na aunga ka ku mau inga pito ai ko ya ko ia ko te hanga o kau ai ngai fa kau ko ya ke te hanga o mapure ai time te mama ai mo time o te fi ai he kau fo ke he o me ai o mga tuunga e tau fai fili. Tau fili ke mea o ku fia, pe ku maafana, e ku whilea o ngā ua pleasure, mea kou tau sai ia e. Pe mea kou ku mamahi, koe tau sai e tau tolu ai. Ka koe nea mai koe ki ai foki, o tau ilo e tau tolu ia. Koe mo uilele ia, tau toke toke tā ko mai e mea ia, kai tau sai da tolo ai kai sai ka tau tolo o ni dai go pe he ai u tu fai ngata areva ai e tau hanga ko ofikai ko hi e tau ngata to tau file me ko o ku fai ngofua no kai ke mamahi e go por pare mare vai fai filia o ka pau he kai ke tau a tau filma be tau toluia ke taha o tanoa mai ne whakahiki ki ta ki olunga o te he ai ki ta ia whai whiri kuhara te sa ia ki ta ia ke hanga taha whakahiki ki kita pea te he ai ki ta ia o te whakatuang hita ki mui na te siokehe kita me he tamara ne o mai e rea ku kai ke ongo lelei kana ne hanga ia o mai e mea ku tonu ai ku mai ko ki he time ko ya u tau fa tonga ile o kai ke fai ngofua ne mo ne as fai ngofua mai e fili o hi ko me ko o ku ta pe ko me kai u i fo tau sa e da to luai ta ko me ia mama ke tau sino ko fa ta ia ki he time fai ngata ia ko tau fai fili pe a afia e tau mo i o kai ke fa poto e tau fili pa kai tau fili e me auton pea tau tō ai ki ngai mea pa tau whato mala tau sio mai me tau tō ke tau o toki ako me whai ngata kai ke koe ai koe nea mai lewa ki ai kou tui kau whanong o kui ai e ngahi tala noa o ku whawhai he kau politikare koe na tau tolu mei tonga pa ku whawi e whia whakai te sio ki ai ke taimu lawe kau tamu kai nau ngai ako e mea fua ai a ko hinga fo ke mea fua ke tau ilo mea tonu ai a ko tau fili ko ke mea o ku ke kai o ku wifo mo merie ka tai no pe ka wifo he tai mo ya kai hoko mai no ana ia ko mama ia ko lo sai ko mea fua ko hinga ko ke ai ko tai mo te ai ki ai te lava lea fua tau ai fia o ku no mo fia ko lahi ko fe me te fili ki ai pe to tonu le ai ko no anga mai ni te fili le bakita ki fia o ku fuoro ange pe kwai mama hia o ku time sisi kai fia ia ku lahi hange ko ngai me tau fono ngai ai ili fia ni alge to ke ta ko ngai fai ha operation ni pe ha au ta mo o sai o mo i fuoro le vai ai ko whakata ia o tu ka fu me ia o ku mama o fefe ka ko me ape ku ka ke tau no ta tolo o whakau u hinga ki ai ko hinga ta no ka tau ta no u hinga ai te tau la ta tolo hulu e tau mo ui o sio ke ngai mea ko ni ke whamala ala ka e lava ke tau li ngai mea fua o mātou ngai tau whige mea o tonu ange Emily
Wawen
waha ki tāna ki mena whewhea hokto wa
Sione nai alua tu pe mo e whanau ai e nau mea.
Okay.
Ko pe ni oku whako.
Eo, ako whape. Ako e o tāna ki mai ki whakaukau he.
Iyo, ko mone opito aho lave ko ia ki he discipline. Ko lave ko ki discipline. Ko e okay taim lahi oku te tō peki he palpale mako e kai ke te discipline e kita. Toki ke pe ahono moni pe discipline e tau whanau mau inga ke ki i whapapau i pe unau fōu pe he lai ne mo me te tonu ke nau whai ka koe me ko wakaya ke e taimu whalolo mai e kai koe ke te lawa kita discipline kita koe ki te lawa kita discipline kita ke te kai mo ulelei o koe ki te lawa kita discipline kita ke te whaenga hi mea koe te tonu mo tau ke whahoko o ku te tala pe e ada mini o ku te rea ke whanau ka pe mai whanau but you're not doing that koe bea ke te hanga self-discipline kita o koe koha mea ia o ku whaingofua. O maa whaingofua anga kita ke te hanga discipline e te whanau, piko discipline ho te hoa. Ia te hanga pe kita discipline pe kita. Ke te ako i pe kita. Ko te pe koe ke tuku e, pe tuku. Ko te pe koe ke te whai e mea koe o kuto tonu ke whakahoko mo tau. Pea te discipline, he koe koha mea whaingofua. O koe koha mea whaingofua. A self-discipline, pe kai ngatai. Ka koe self-discipline o whia mau ke consistent. O koe koe self-discipline pe ahoni pe whoki pe ia o whae mea te tawa pompong mo e wike kahau. O whia mau ia ke te manga pe ki mua. Kinisi pe kita. Ka pau ku whia mau ke te kai mo ilele o kai ngā kō mo kai ngai mea maasima mo mea whingai pe kita ke te hanga follow ko self-discipline ya. Pia ka taim ko te discipline te whanau o ku te ongoi. Ai mea ko ia ku whai ko hi ngahe ko te mea ia ku whai. Hanga peo ki wakai atu ki he.
Maria pito monya pito pe
ki o lawa ki discipline ia
iyo o ku mahau me hange pe discipline ko ke tano ki ai ko te ako ke te lawa mapure i kita
au pito
ai ko foi urunga nga ia ko ke te lawa mapure i kita ko me mau inga au pito e neo ko ha to a kita ka ko te lawa mapure i kita o koe ke lau e te toa taia ko ngai te whakamo wheweu kita e kau ngapi
koia
ko ngā ka sana kita ia o te iwilahi pau te hawe ki atu e koe ke lau kita mapure i kita koe kita ko tangata lelei ka koe toa ko tau tanoa i tau tolu i he Polokalama koe ni koe toa ai o kau whataha mai pia mo e mapure i ki ai me whapoto mo e tonu na alu whataha e koe fo kau tangata ia ku toa he tau pe o whi mau au bito pe ia. Ka kone o sang ko ia, kauna tauria he kakai o kuanga kou ia au bito. Ie ngahi ulunganga hau mo ia,
Koia.
Koki koe, ka ku, aia ku tānoa ki ai koe whahinga to aia o ku, koe ere meniti au e to a ka ku kai ke hoko e ka tangata lele i civil life. Ka o ku maolunga ange, e te lava koe o mau ai mapure i kita. Whatah mga urunganga ko toa koe ni koe ngahi elemenite ni ma ko whamanatu koe i urunganga. Aia koe ne kau whataha pa mahu inga rewa. Ko inga te tonu rewa ke talatu. Ai koe i lo ia, kau ki ai. Pea nai ai e tānoa ki mua. Ko te pe me riku ku wawe ai o se taimi ka ku o tata no pe he u konga ko ni ko nga ko ha mea a ngai ge tau o koe ku ki la we atu ki he mea ko ni ko anga maheni ko nga ko ta no ke discipline ko nga ke tau la hi hake pe ko tau anga maheni o ta tau pe mo uhinga ko me tau ilo to me ko tonu he
apito
sai u koe le wa pa mo me ko ku tau ko anga fra fonua ko pe mo anga fra family anga fra matakari ai ko ngahi ulunga ko ya o tau puke fo pa tau lau ka wai pa ko tu pe i he potano fra politikare ko atonga e taimini o ko mai ke foi crossroad ko ya ai fe paki ai fa kau i ko ai ke tu fa ta hanga hanga maheni ni pe mo tau mama ko ilo e me ko tonu pa he kai de hanga o mo si atu ia ko falanga ta no pe ki ai ko tu pe ko me ama winga ke ta no mai tau ka fanongo i he Polokalama ka hoko mai e ko tu ko fui ta no ko ni ke discipline ni u hinga nga tonu e ki ai ke tau lava o fatonga o ku mahu inga o bito tau anga maheni o tau tolu ko ngai me ai outside ka ke hao ai ko ke hao ai o ku ia e u me ai e la pe ia di liu ke hange pe ko te mo u ia te anga maheni ka pau te pigi ma o te anga maheni pe ko ne tu mo ia o fe pakia mo tonu o ku o ku kai ke ia amana re ia ki he te fotu tu nga we ata te whaka i kai e ki ta ia a mama mai ko mahina mai me tonu ai ku tau wha awi tau tolu ia ko hataha o ku ui whaparang stubborn, Ka ke roto i ke liu,
Koe.
Pa ko te pe ko a pau te tau tu ake tau Polokalama he poni ke tau whatonga iange mea ka tau ki whakakau loto pe tau tolu ia tau tolu kai mo mahalo pe na aonga. He koutui o ku hoko ai whekihi aki lahi au pito i ho tau ulunganga. Moi mama mai koe ai tonu ke tau moui. Wa wairewa ni ihia. Nau tu umau pe nau tolu he mea wholoa koe na nau iai. Koe nau whieri liu nau tolu ia. Aia nau pepe nau tolu ia o stonu ia. Koe nau toe whanonga nau tolu ia ke ha mea. Pea kono ai koe taha. Ko taha ia ku pehe e ia ku ne ilo e tonu. Lotonga koe au hala. Koe. Iai rewa rea. O ku whai he taha kau poto kalisi. Na koe tō taha koe nina ne whai rea koe ia. Na ne ilo e ia pe he ko au pe o ko poto taha. He ko ilo e au ia o kai keu ilo mea ko toa pe. Aia koe hinga fuke ne ta noa. Koe te ilo ko koe te ilo mea ko toa pe. U te poto kita. He ku te ilo kita mea umooni. La ko te peko te ilo ai mea kotoa pe lotong koe ki te ilo. Koe uhinga ia au ignorant ai pe o whapo uri au pita whakau koe ia. Ka ko una foi tānoa ke tau selfiange fo koe ai o koe mea ia hoko i he tau moui pe hange koe ngai mea whapolitikare koe a tau Letio Tonga. Kukamata ke iai alate ngahi whotutu ke mea. Te whatonga i pe me liu, e ia i whewhusa ki a kakai, ka umauinga pe ke whakamama pe ko i tau kauta toka ta whake,
Au pito.
O tala noa, ko inga e ko ngai mea ko ni ku materialize ia i he mo ui mo ngai whew hui mo nofo e ka inga. Pea, ko whatonga i, alunga tona tu ai mea ko ni, ai whehanga hangai, ai anga mahe ni, pe ko anga whakafonua, pea mo mea ko o totonu, pe ko mo oni ko e alunga ange, eu ko pe mili ko ko ta mia kai nga fanongo ko fa malo atu mo tu ma gi tai mi ke ta no atu ai o ta wa ba he ai fa kau tu a ko ne ki mo to ko ni ki ka venga ko mana ke ta no ai
ko
malo atu mo fa ka ta ki o whanonga mai ke pōta. Ana whamore anga rea ku whe poto pe tō ki tua. Whamore ange ki motu ani. Ko le ta ha pe ko te he kai ke tu kuai fa te fa ta no ai ngai ka venga ma o inga ko ni. Pa ko te fa malo ke ai mili ke fa na mari tu mai. O fa ka de mo to malo.
Malo mapito sifa o fa ta to filonga ke Polokalama hono hoko. Malo. Ne modok mea mai ki Polokalama ko ia fofola fala kai alea kainga sponsor for ke Polokalama ko ni Gifted Hands Care Provider pe me he Bay Area San Francisco pe ne fa ho ko tia sifa mafi tau tok flonga ko me Polokalama ko ni I he time tau o wike ka ha o te tau ho ko tai pe fo ki ho ngani ke tau ngahi unio ngongo I he fiafini pe a whatawange pe mu mau haalele whatawange pe o wongolele ia te uia Letio wake tai whalau kia mo ngahi loto whale kai koe tau ngahi unio ngongoen te tau koko atu ki ai Maria ho eki pe malo lele ai tonga ko to pe tau wakai kia ngai unio ngongo lava ke tata naki mai I he hoa te tau kamata pe me ngai ngongo pe me tonga eki te tau wakai kia ngai ngongo pe me otumoto pasiki kai umafo kia ngai ngongo pe me Amerikani kai uma a atu apure anga ko ngai ngongo fa mui taha ko ia pe me tonga eki
me he kakalo Tonga News Toki tuange whamau ke hao ka ko lawa mahina ia ono mo aho fitu ono tauhi tori o tariki hopo. Ea o pehe, maari lahi ke sini te eki whahala ia I ka ko tauhi lolo pehe ata I tori hange pe ane ngau popula. Na tuange tui whamau lahi, Justice Bishop, ai taho kau whai o ngongo antonga, ai ko te wita whauhiwa. Kene hao I whailoa ki he kaiha neongo na tari halaia pe kiai, kana whahoko pe ai hopo o tuange ia whamau. Na whaha whamau, na anga kehe hopo ni ke te ia, e koe ongo whamoni, koe ongo tamaiki lele. Koe tōtaha mamahi, na teu ia, ke tuku pe, ke ne alea whalele pe I tua. Kana I pe he ne ongo, ne ngari tui e whailoa, koe mea na ne whai, ne iai pe ai ene to tonu, ki ai, kana I kai ke tui pe he ia. Na e whotu antu e tantalanki, koe isiu koe he keisini, pe na iai hata whalala anga pe kai. Ka koe whailoa, ne whailo ki he kai haa. Ne whahae whamau koe kumi pena ta whainto tonu nei a hono to'o whailoa koloa pe kai. Pe na ne to'o tau ataina pe eia. He koe uhinga to tonu ni o whilia kai haa, ko hono awe tai to tonu hakoloa pe I kai ha o to tonu ki ai. Pea koe tau mua hono ave koloa ke more osi. Ie kei sini koe whailoa mo mamahi, koe ongo kaumea talo e na maheni he university. Ne nofo pe mamahi ia I hono api, kana e nofo pe whailoa I hono whereti, pea na whealoa ki ai. Nana wahi pe e mea nana mau, ai kofi, kahala kofi e aloe, o mai me kofi ae, na whingau e aki pehe. Koe pauta fō, hange koe hala koe alua tue o mai pauta ke whai aki ne fō, o I kai ke toi kore atuia. Ne pehe pe ena mui na whewa whai aki. Ka koe ampia mamahi, koe koloa kotoa ne I kai ko e koloa ko toa ia ai mamahi. Ka nei iai e koloa ia a ene whae. Ko e lahi e koloa ko ia ko e ola ia o e talafi paanga to koni ange a ene whae mei muri. Pena whatokoni pe ai whaka iloa ki te tongi whanga ki whamore si pe e api o e mamahi. Nei aloa te whailoa ia o awe e koloa ko ni, koloa whatonga he api e mamahi ke malu i aki ai ne no. Ne tui bea whakailoa ia ko naua pea ko e awe pe kai totongi e no pea whafoki e koloa. Kara ne awe o whai ai no ia i hono hingoa, nei kai ke ne lohi aki i hono hingoa, ke ngari ko e kai ha. Aia na ne awe loto tau ana aina pe he koe mea oku ne whingai, pe koe whinga ki ai. Aia koe pango, ne i kai tatongi e he whakailoa ia ai no. Kana e tuaki pe e whakailoa ia, e nei tui pe ia oku ia ia ene tonu ki hene awe e koloa o whatau ki he pui tua o ene mo ui whiwa aki mahi. Pena e tui pe ia, tene lawa tatongi no, kai whawhok mai koloa, ka koe mea kehe, ia na e koromoni peloi. Aia ne tokanga e whamau ia pe na tui e whailoa na ne to'olo to tau ataina pe ai koloa o ikai ki uhinga na ne awe ai koloa o awe whafufu. Ka na ikai pe foki ke whawhipaki e whailoa ia ai tukua ki kana e whamatalo tonu pe ene uhinga. Sirei na ikai haloia ia ai whailoa krai sio e whamau ko tamanga rei pe ai whailoa ia pe whamatala ton pe ia ai mea nane whai loto nane whai aki ke whailoa nane ngau e whawhai o ngongo he ngai kauta miti atonga pe hiki me ai ke immigration i anu sila o ngau e ai na tutuni pe whamau ke hao e whailoa ia pe ne tutuni ke whafoki e passport ko ia e whailoa ke te ia kai whaidau e whamatala ko e whailoa ke kakalu Nei ai ke whalau ki fisi, ke whata, e mau he fisheries, ai a kohu ono kau mea ai a ona, ka koe tōtaha mamahi, ko ene hola mi ene hopo, pia launga e ke kau polisi. Nei puke e kau polisi, e whailoa o tauhi, pia to'o ene passporti. Nei awe whailoa ki tautori o tauhi ai i mahina e ono mo e aho e fitu, na tāto o lahi whinga e whailoa mono whamiri ke malu ia ki tua moe i kai pē. Koe ni ko hao pe te tukuange mai ia ka kua more ni totonu moe ne tau ataina e tauhi whalao ia whataha moe kau whaihia e futaimi loloa pehe a kumahino kuiai ai mea oku whihala ki heni. I whipotano a koe e loia ko Nelson Paul whiko aki pe mo me ani nane pehe koe mea, he oku ikai palanisi pe i witatau e whailoa mui kau tartala ki i tonga. Ko mulia oku whea au pito pe a kau tartala ki ia. Koe tauhi bilisone mahina e ono, ok tatau ia mui ngā popula tau e taha inu sila. Kana e tonu ke whakaukau e kau talatala ki oku lolo a entali e hopo, pia malu i mai ki tua he kona osi to'o ene passporti. Ka kono tuku pehei o ku tae tāwia he o te eki ke whai e hopo. E whahafo ki e whamaula hi, ne a umai ki sune wana o wha, ne te eki ke whai ha mea, pia hange o ku ikai ke whie whai e talatala ki e hopo. Ko mea ia e tau tolo ia e fuoloa ko eni, ano tauhi e whakailoa e tautori he fu taimi loloa pehe. Ko hae o hinga ne a mi o e tatalaki o kui kai ilo ia ki ai. Kana eke ka Nelsoni pe e lava ke eke i whasivile e mamahi ai mamahi e kalau ni ke keisi kai ni pera pehe pe io ka o ku whimau haloea lele. Mana tui kai haloea ia e whakailoa he hoponi. Aia kon whahuko ia Crispo Hiva kala moala mo filokalafi e kau ola koe aho pe e wano na e whahua ki nā tolu e nā mo ua ai e pule a ngā pe te tong huhu i nā tolu taki ua mano. Pea e whewhe ai hano tau hipilisone mahina e ono. Ko tahine ka veinga na tokanga kia ne o soni. Ko i kai lava e kakai ke tau i e nau totonu i tonga. Ko uhi ko nou hona ui whapahanga. E ko miha loia ke ne whafofunga i nau tolu. Ko no sila mo Australia, fisi mo Hamoa. Oku i ai e tokoni ai pureanga ke whapaanga i hono whafofunga i whakalao e kakai. Pea ko ia aku i loa ko legal aid, ka pau o ki kai ke lava o totongi haloia, o ku totongi lewa e puleanga haloia, kene whafofonga i koe, ke whapapau i o ku mau e whamau totonu. Ko tonga o ku hala whaerere ia, pia koe aluatu tae loia i pe ai e whaiteri hai pe ai whaahi e taha ia, e meri. Pea hoko ai ke sireni o staimbe ke foto o haka o representative ke si malo e kakai ta wako me ke sireni kake mani
ngai ngongo famui tape me he matangi tonga ko peki a foki ai tu itapu sias katolika loma ai ko tu itapu Francis I he monite o e toi tuu, I no tau valungo full maa valu. Te ate whakaikiki, ai mea whaiki koia tu I tapu e tau ngongo koia pia me Amerikani mo mamani. Ka te koe tu koe tai mini, whakatau ke whanongongo koia, ke o ngongo pia me matangi tonga. O ku osi, ku o hake foki I he whale api koia o siasi katolika loma, ai fuka o ilo ape koe purple flag, ai koe fuka koe ni o ku whakahai foki ai unge whakahai ai o half cast ai o whakahai ai pekia koia ai tu I tapu I taim te tau pe foki ku te foki e kātinali ka koe e piko pō tonga mo niwe so ane pati tā pai ni mafi ke ne flower tu ki loma I a weekeni. Na whakaapea me Monsignolo Ludovico Finau, Pate Ludovico Finau, ke matangi tonga, ko e, o nao teu foki ki he teu wholau koia e kātinari, I he ongongo koia no tuk mai pa me tonga, na tikai ke mahino ai aho koia e whahoko ai me whaeki, ka ko os mahino mai ngai ongongo pa me murini e whahoko e atona ki. Na te pepe foki Monsignolo Ludovico Finau, ko e ahi koia ai kātinari, ki loma tene toki me atuia ke palasi I ahuatolo e peleli o whai ai whatau wholofola ke ne awhio o whahaki ai pekia ko ia ai tu I tapu I taim te tau pe foki o kune pehe e Monsignolo Finau ko ne ahi ko ne pe ko ne whatau wholofola ki he ne awhio ki kai ngata pe tene whafongai ai tai o sisi o tonga pe mo niwe ka I tai betau o ne toi whafonga I pe foki a loma. Ko Vatikani foki o pure anga makehe pe ia lolo tonga neongo o kutuu I loma aia ko e kolomu aia o Itari ka o pure anga makehe pe ia ko taki ko ia pure anga ko ia Vatikani ko ko e tu I tapu pe I taime tau ni pe foki e whahoko pe a moe misa I ono whamanatu koia e pekia o e tu I tapu I whalelotu pe koia o Immaculata Maria Immaculata I mawhanga pe teni toko mai foki a whakaikiki whekau aki pe a moe tukunga o kui ai e nau lotu o tonga koe ni koe kau pāteleu nau whahoko pe foki no tataki a ngahi lotu I he ngahi apsiasi koia o siasi katolika. Na ne toi whahape foki ki he matangi o tonga, ko e no whanga koia ka inga fo'o, ai a kong me ai e tamakatinali, o nau whahoko pe foki ai ngahi lotu ai, ka o maa foki a hono flown half staff ai fuka. Lo tonga koia, o ku whahoko foki e he pure anga embassy ko ia o Amerika pe mo Britania hanga hi lotu pe whekau aki pe mo mea ko ia oku hoko lo tonga ko ia ahia te katinari ki loma tene ka watu ki ngai o wau ko ia mea whakaeki ka o mafo ki ene ka watu ki ono whiri ko ia hatu i tapu fo o oku ki mua panau whiri to i tapu fo o ka gai pe foki ai ngai whataha kehe o iloa pe ko general congregation ko teu ko ia ke whiri o tu i tapu ko katinari mawhi foki ko tahaia me mipa o College of Cardinals ai au nau ka watu ki hono whiri ai tu i tapu fo o
me he tonga independent lele tai whalao i ngahi kautaha businessi ai pueanga me he Ministry of Enterprise nai wha mahino e pale mia manolo o ni kau minister manolo na ihe whataha o kau whai o ngongo ihe tu site ihe loki konfelenisi ai whalealea ko to unga o hia e po ngā weki ngahi businessi ai puleanga o ku lele tai whalao he whatau pia moela o ki ngahi businessi ko pau ke iai ai kautare kita poate ke oa toko si i he toko tolu pe toe lahiange i he toko fitu pe au iai pe amona o ngahi whatongia whaitu tu uni ki he ngahi kautaha businessi ka koe ne tu he taini mi oku i kai ha poate ki he ngahi kautaha businessi pe au mau ai alao ke punga o e ko ni o iai a ona whatongia whaitu uni maho inga o whahoko hono whaerere o inga hi kautaha pea ko ne hala ko ni ko e whihui lewa ko hai o kune whahoko ai whaitu tu ni he ko tu ko ni a lao ko e kau poate tare kita pe taha o kunau whahoko o inga ngau ko ni ka o kunau whiwhiri lahi pe wā whiwhi ai whaerere o inga hi poate he taini mi i whihui mehe o ngongo na e whakakau ai minister ke ngai businessi ai pureanga ono po kala o hange o wikai ke tui ko iai hakau poante pea kanau liliu ai lao ko ha ai mea e hoko i whamalala e pale mia marolo ko liu oi lao ko mea ke heia pea e taimi lahi a hono whahoko oi ngawe ke liliu ai lao pe koe loloange pe ia ai tai iai hapoate pe a koe lahiange ai pe ai ngā weta whalau ia ai ngā kautaha o whatatau ki he tō ai lao nai lawe a hokawa miliko ge uhinga na nau whalolo ai ai ngā hipoate koe uhi ke osi whakataha pe moho nau te mi whili pe koe ni koe whakawhisi nei iai au e sia a taha o i puleanga hena iai pe tokoni a pale mia ia ke hoko koe pale mia le leo koe ngā ue kotoa lewa na e whakako ki whaloloa na e whakalao ki he ka i he humaikani ai puleanga lorotonga na nau kanseri ai whakaloloa ai ngai wate i he uhinga whakalao aia o toki vete pe ia mehe whamaunga na os wha e puleanga e tuku a ngahi lakanga tale kita poate ki toa ki kakai o whonua ki nau tohi mai ki ai pe aku a ta aia ki ha taha pe o kune tui o wiai ne tau kei he ngai ta whaaki ko e ni ke tohi ki ai he koe palparema he tainimi e ni ihi o kui mai ai kakai ta e tau kei ki he business e ni ihi o ku kei whaonga ai kakai o e whonua ki ano tuku mai ai hingoa o e kau poate fo ou pe uia tu ia e waweni pe a hono whakakato ka o ku nofo ai o nia i he ngā hingoa ke wakai he i kai ke iai ha whakapone i he whiriko ni o i kautare ki tā. Ke nā us whahae pale mea ni ka whai ongo o iai ai ko miti te nau whahoko ai whiri o ngā hipoate ke oua e whakapone o hange e ka ngai mea poho o ki moa.
Ko tau ngahi tahe ngā tau ngahi ngongo pia mei he Tonga Independence. Tau ngahi ngongo pia mei Tonga Eki, mei he tala noa o Tonga ko tau whakawhi pēni ki he ngahi ki hono whahoko ai tāla sisi tai totongi I Tonga. Whanau whamatara ko mai pia me he tala noa o Tonga ko tu utai Tonga ai misini tāla sisi fo o e hongo fulu. Pea ko tau akien hono walu hano tala noai o e kliniki ko ia o dialysis. Ko ngai misini hongo fulu ko ni fa fofua no mau inga ke pa anga e ua miliona Australia. Pea ko tafu ke nia mea ofa I ngahi kau tafe ngawe aki fa waha apure anga. Na e tuta foke misini ko ni inuku alofa I he wike ko o si. I he taimbe tau ni fa ha foki na e tuta ko ia ngai misini ko ni ne tata lele ia e siausi e poate ko ia o siausi brown dialysis ka ma a administer ko ia o mo ui ona poto ke ta ana akau ola nena fa hafo ke radio nuku alo fa ye wike ko o si ko ngai misini ko ni e tokoni au pito ke kakayo e fonua ko ngawe fo ko ni ne fa ho ko ia administer ko ia o ne kamata ia e minister ko ia o e mo ui I he a ki mua pe go ni ko tu uta pe pe he to ta ana ka ola o fu fia au pito mo honga ia ka kai ko to pe o na a fa ho ko to ko ni ko ni pe mo pa anga ko ni ko tana ki ko uhi ko e frata o misini na fa fo ke se ko ia po ate road nia imam o gune pe ta haina mo meniti fa fo ofa au pito o kai ke tui ko hoko ai tu uta ko ia misi ni ko ni pene pe o khange pe ha aku mo he misi he ko tawa ke ne valu ai feinga ko ia ke o mai ngai misi ni ko ni ki Tonga ko misi ni wai e ngawe aki pe I fare ma ki vai la ko misi ni e ono e ngawe aki ke tokoni ki na tol ko ia okupal pale malahi au pito hana o kidney ko e ua leva e tuku pe ia ko reserve ki ngai fie ma o fava vave o fai foki pe mo ngai yako ki ka we ko ia o kuna lolo Tonga ka ngawe ko ia te na fa hoko a hano ngawe ake ngai misi ni ko ni pe au teu ke frava ai ngawe ake dialysis I Tonga I siulai fa foke to ta akau ola ko polo ko misi ni ko ni te hanga hau faki ngai mo ui ai to ko lahi pe aku na o sisio atu pe ki e mama at the end of the tunnel pe aku ia ngai mea ofa oe amanaki lele ko ngai misin fo ko ni we kai ngata pe hono ene tu utai Tonga ka kha fata pe mo ngai supplies ka o ma fo ki ai Polokalama ko ai ko tu ko nga ko ai e tai mini o na pe he fo ki ko ke ka o fola ko ya mei muri tau te fito ke kakai o nau taila sisi muri te nau malava pe o whahoko taila sisi I Tonga e taimi te nau tu utai ko ia I Tonga to lai fuke kakai o ku o ikai ke nau o nau taila sisi muri o nau irifia ki nau tole o ki Tonga ko winga ko ikai ke a misin taila sisi ka koena e whakaava misin taila sisi isi ulai ko ia o e tau ni me he talanoa o Tonga e pe kua whahafoki pe me o ngongo ko e ni o kai ki aha paanga ia e more pe me paanga tokoni ko ia o COVID-19 ko whaha ia e pale mea malolo si au si somaleni na le whahafoki o kai paanga ia more me he wafe wo wake wafe wa tolu whatatau ki whamatala pe matuku aki I ko ia o whahoko e pure anga lolo Tonga na ne toi whahafo ke kau whaiongongo I wike kua o si e ona po sovaleni ko lipoti ko ia atitana e kai ke pehe ia o kai hapa anga o kumore ko lipoti ko ia me atita o kune whahape o kuiai ai ngahi tari totongi o ikai ne ikai ke kau I he lipoti pe o kuwhalo pe a ko tahaya ai ngahi whamatala o ikai o whatu puloto mamahi na ne toi whahape o kei whaia whatotolo e tai mini ki ngahi la receipt pe ko ngai receipt ko ia o mole o fa feka aki mo paanga no no miliona ko ia ne fa moleki I lo Tonga ko ia fa ke I he COVID-19 ko honorable sovaleni fokna ne ho ko ia ko ekpalemia lo Tonga ko ia ai fatamaki o e COVID-19 pe na ane osi fa hape o ku whawhia maali e pe a lipoti pa anga ia. Ko to e pe nia ke o mai anga i receipt o ku fie ma o. Kana whaha e ona pol maten tapulu e luko ek minister ia ki pa anga humai pa mo customo. O ku whafofa pe a lea koia ne whahoko ona po sovaleni ka koe mea koia o ku mahino o ku te kiai ki o mai anga receipt o fie ma o koia ke account ki ae pa anga ne whakamole ki. Na te whafo ki he sea whale alea ona po Lord whawhanua. A ene whakamaala lo tonga koia a debate koe ni o ne pehe ko ripoti pe me atita o osi mahino au pito pe o wikai ke iai ha receipt pe me he cluster e hiva ai ane whahoko whanatau ke ripoti me atita koe ai o te kai pe ke mahino ia pe koe paanga koe ni nai alu o ngau e aki ki he ha o kei hoko kwa pe whoke no whawhehu ia e pure anga lolo tonga e tukunga o kuiai whamatala koia pe a mei he ātita, pe a kukiai pe a ngahi whehui o te kei ke tāri, ka o kuiai, ka o pehe whoki e kei whai a hono tālanga i whale alea tonga, i he ene toi hoko atu i he weekend ni. Taha ngahi uniongongo, pe a mei he tānoa o tonga.
He tonga independent nei pe, e taha ni o e ngahi whima o viviri ia, whikawaki mo Pacific Rally, aia koe nau sio koe ni ki he aia o whikau ake ni oi mga kainga mga i o te ko na wahi a tonga tata o te whito vei lolo halai walu i loa be ia i he ngahi makasini koe makasini ni na wha sio ai way back i he walu ngofutuko hange te walu whituen tahe ngai makasini na nau tuwaki a tonga o pehe kotonga koe hewania ke kina o tolo e kau sales sport au nau sale koe ngahi waka la e meri tōna whira ngahi i o te sai ko uhinga o hake koe ia he o mau inga pito ai konga ngongo koe ni i ono tuku mai mihi tonga independence ko ia ko pau ke wharerei e tonga ai uafu tara re whito ki uafu koe ia o ne afu I te teo koe a tonga ki taitari ai ngahi i o te whawaha pure anga ai a whawhua ki i o te e whitu noa I meni ai ni ka koe konga ia o e wanoa wanima Island Cruising Pacific Rally ai o mahino ai malawa ki i ai whainga mali e wha ekonomika mo whakawhonua ka upehe mo ngahi ue sia koe ni ai hoko ki he wafu ulahi a pira ngai mau pea o fu fia mau ia ki ngai I he wame taha ka koe o hake tohi koe ni me he a wiki moa koe tare ki taia o Island Cruising Pacific Rally ai ngahi ho haafa wawame whikau aki e mo tukunga taulanga I ne iafu wawau ai nei tuku mai e tohi o ne pehe koe taulanga I ne iafu o kovi au pito pe ko fatu ta mahi lahi aki ngai I o te kina o hai ki ai o ko fu unsafe au pito I ke kakai kina o heka mo hifo mihi e nau ngahi waka ke taurar fito ki he nau whima o koe ni ke nau tu uta pe nau o kosi o koe kastomu Aia o palani kau kaptenia en I he taimi I ke nau whakalaka whakaau furi nau tauria a tonga ka ko nau lau a ngai whakamatala koe ni whikawaki me non-foreign land aia oku pehe oku iai mau ia I ta whakoe ni aia o whamatala I ngahi ata mo ngai whamatala e mea koe ni ui kai ngata pe I he whawhia maari e ka whatu tā maki. Hangi ko ngai whitu mo nga wai ngai fusi mo toa. Ngahi aka wia o pehe. Kono ngawe ake ngahi middle pass. Aia o klahe pita pe ngahi mea whi mau ke wharere. I he koe kakai ko ni whakaukau ke mani koe nau ngawe koe nau ngahi I o te. Au nau flau tahi I ngahi weekend, month, porque taimi kong nau tuku tai a whanua they need a place of offer. Now lawa ki no o ki ai utu na ngahi vai ki na me ale ki na waka and so on o ku tu atau ngai ta e fa fi mali ki to lahi pe wa fa hinga ni ku na skip na to nga na o kana no sila o ku ki mawangi ke o ku hanga o mtala ko ni utu ku mai ka fa ngongo o ha ke mo inga ko ia e lai more ai si pa anga fufi mau ia mri ki tonga e ka o hange pe ka travel ia ko ni mi hau e ki mo ka inga o ku na fiku taki e na unga Letio ko ni ki ai pe ki me ta fi mari ke o na fe va aki e tai mi go o ku na follow. I follow these people a lot. Pea o kunau fe vai anki anga hiongo ngo ia ki te mi ko kunau fola wai tau te fito ki te mi te nau tungu tai ki a fornua te nau eke ai fonga whaka immigration te nau eke anga himea ko o ku lelei tau te fito mawanga vai ko e so pingi pa kono ta mai ko ngai fusima ko ni o ngau aki e va ufu tu apito pea o kai ki lele kaike ko e kaweni I he fie mau ke identify ki tau tolu I wha koini I he ki tau whare rei ange fu fie mau I wiri kau ke te fu fie wha ose te konga koini ki hongo ka o ku fu fie mau ki whanga hoi
pe me he talanoa tō ngai pe Kua whakatuutu ufoke e kau whaingata ia whakaesino ko ia I popua I nuku alofa. Hako miti ke ne tokanga I kina o tolu I taimi ukoko e whatamaki whakaena tula. Ko e whano ongonga koe ni pia me talanoa tonga I taimi na hoko ai ngai whatamaki whakaena tula I Tonga. Ko tama koe ni ko sio ene mataele. Na ane whahake no family ke tuku pe ia ka nau lele ki nau tolu ke nau hao ka tuku pe ia ke mate o ka hoko ha whatu tāmaki na ne toi whahafoki ko ia o mau ingange ki ai ke whahawhi a hono family ko uihe kui kai ke si lava o lele ka go sione mataele mau o no fofoki I popua ko popua to lahe o pito e ka inga o na whainga ta ia o na whainga ta ia whaisino o na no fo me make a minute pe o full be me ko lo mua menu alofa ko popua foko to lahe ka kai o na langa I he ngahi a kere o ku ano pe o na tula ve ngo fua au pito ki ngai fatu tamak fa na tula o ange ko ia ko pe au kula fa dau fa matala ko ni ko tamayo e ko ni o ku palpalema pe o fainga ta ia a hono wa e pe kai ke lava ia o lue pe ne fa ha foki o fa fofua ke kakai fainga ta ia whakaesindo e fitu ngo full ma malu inuku alofa Kani ngo ia ne gai ke nau tukuai a e nau whenga na nau fotu utu ulewa ha komiti ke kau whainga ta ia whakaesino koe ni o tala noa ia ngai palani kai maa a ngai support of nau whie mau I lolo tonga hoko ko ia whatamaki whakaina tula na pefoki e Mr. Mau ko me mau inga tahaini ke nau komiti ke nau ngau e whakataha o whewa kai aki ko hae mea toton ke nau whai kai o mafo ke nau sio ke ngai palpalema o whekuki pia mo ka kai whai ngata ia whakaesino I popua ko popua foki o nau whahoko e ngai ngau e ke nau malawa matatari mo lahio nau ngai iwi ke matatari ake ngai whai ngata a ke pe o whahoko ko ia I he ngai whangata ia ke tatau te fito ke ngai whatamaki whakaina tula ko taha ia ngai ngongo pia me he tala noa Tonga pia me he whakamau anga I pia me matangi Tonga o ku wha mai whoke matangi Tonga ko matapure ko Samuel Hafoka tau whango full maa tolu Ko tutune whamanga ke ne ngā pōpula I ha mahina e tahaua ko uhi ko ne ka haase mea lere. Whafofua maho inga mea lere ke paanga tahamano tolu wafe. Ko mea lere whoko ni na tu upeia. Na e tau peia I hala tau wha a hau. Na e hiri whake tau tea o Samuela Hafoka I a ta fito e peleli I whamawanga pe I nuku alofa. Na ne tari hala ia pe I sa anuari ki he tikite mo hia koe ne utuku aki ia. A ia ko hia koe ni ne whahoko e awa walo September o wafe maua tolu. Ne whahafo ki he tō tako ia na ne whae launga se ne paia. Na e tau pe e ne mea lele a ia koe karasio e kāgo master. Alano kula I mua I he hotere ko ia long maile pe ko long maile launch I hala tau wha a hau. Na ne loka pe foki ai mea lele ni hiri a ngā we na ane ka watu ki pāti na whahoko I reload pā pe ane taxi ia ki api. Whafofua ke taimi wā pongpongi o aho taha. Na ne tok mau e ia ai kā ko ia o e a ki ko ia o ene kā I mua I he mase ia blasa. Pea ne wakai atu ki he ne mea lele oku I kai ai ko hiri a koe ai oko e wakoi ki he reload pā. Oku I kai ke iai a ene mea lele ana ia ko iai na ne toki whamahino na ne toki lipotien ke kao polisi o whai ahono kumi ne tok mau o katopa a uluaki e he potngawe polisi ai mea lele koe ni ai ane ka asi e tamani. I na whaafu ke whamau koe mahina e woua tene ngawe pōpulai ka e malawa pe ki whamole mole e mahina hongo fulu whamui taha ka ia I pe ai ngahi makatuunga o ka wai ano malu I mo ilelei ki hata o e ua ka paulewa he kai tene o ka pau tene toi whai hakia lo tonga malu I mo ilelei koe ni e lawa pe foki ke toe whafoki o hoko atu a ene ngawe pōpula. Koe tau ngai unio ngongo ia pa me tonga e ki te tau hoko atu ki a ngai unio ngongo pe me Amerikani hiri pe ai whanonongo koe ni. O ke teo whulau ki tonga ewa mea tapa pe o e kolo pe. Ko e ongo le rei ni a me he whana Airbnb. Ko mawe api Airbnb o kutu I ve tongo I hala tau whaahau pe kutu upeia I ve hala pe koe nonga moe fie maarie. Os maai wana whanau nau. Ko e lo ke tolu bathroom e ua. Os maau ho hita vai mawhana. Ke o te ke toi tuata maki si o ka vai. Os maau moe misin 4 ke tau tau 4 hai. Os maau air condition ke o te ke toi ho haapupuha ia pe si o mai. Os maau moe a o ku malu na kaya askoe. O mau inga ia ke malu hao pe toi maa mo fo o pe ke nofo whakatu I mo fie maria ia apini. Whitu taklewa ke whika telefoni ono taha nima hivihiva ua fitu noa ke mo ki I muhu o pukalewa anof anga ia mau Airbnb. Pukalewa e taimin taha ke whika telefoni ono taha nima hivihiva ua fitu noa pe ko ki ilomi I pe ko Facebooka a whana tayo ne sinia he usi e kulea ka amuatu ne toa tu. Ko e whana Airbnb ia whika telefoni ono taha nima hivihiva ua fitu noa. Koe pasa o sapate whae o wafe wanima. Hoi kwe kainga koe tau pasa enima e sapate whae whahoko I ato anako na ngaful o mea I holo sodia I e tuasila ono ni mataha El Camino Real Re-Rattled CD. Koe ai. O ka bau kia mau ke whatawa toa mea kai. Pe ko hangahi ngawe wha mea. Pe ko ha mea pe ke ma oiha se niti ki sapate whae. Pe ko tak mai lewa le sita ho te pile. O whakangata pe lahe ngai te pile. Whema o kutu wakea toa whainga business pe ai lewa hao te pile. Pe ka bau te ke mau sapate whae. Pe ke lava mai a pasake to kumei hao teu. Pe mota eva o kai pahia. E whatwa ia ke te whatwa ia mata. Pe toi whatwa ia a vae. Pe hiri o ai whatwa ia aho o wale ti. Fitutak mai leva ki fika telefoni fata hanima fit fanoa tolua tolu ki sekretari moana mo unga pe ko fika ono ni manoa tono fitu ni menima taha ha o mai laka mai me mai lava mai pe ke to hire mai he ko lau mario sapat fa edita ma ko to hen o fala yatu me ka tani ma ofa afa fine tonga o Bay Area ta hoka to kia ngai uniongo pe miot mote pasiki pe me Radio New Zealand International kuta te foka fola wata ekpale mia koia ofisi Steven ni rampuka ki Singapore ka ma Indonesia i weekendi ko ekpale mia koia ofisi koia pe foka uneto hoko ko ek minister ki muli tene fataha pe mo ekpale mia Singapore Lawrence Wong ke fataha o talanoa i aingahi fengawe aki i dunga fa ekonomika tau te fito ki hono whakaivia ai ngai wā whaka ekonomika pe moe ongo whanua pe kai ngatai ka den whai whoke ngai talanoa wheka ak pe moha ngai mea o kumaho inga o pito ki fisi ke whai ahono toko ni i pe Indonesia e whatahaya rampuka mo President Prabowo Subianto pea elahi ai talanoa koe nia wheka ak mo whengawe aki wao fie ngai elia koia pe koe ngai tafaaki o regional security ako ngowe ka mafoki ai ngai fatamaki fakai natula me Radio New Zealand International ai pepe me fisi fa pot ngai policy ko to e hiki hake ake pese te hiva tolo e kakai ko fra ilo kina tolo fra fika aki pe mo fai to kona tapu i ma asia ta uni whakawhihonaki ki ma asi ko ia o e ta o ko o si whahape me police commissioner Rusia te to travel one pehe o kei whai hokokat pe whoke potu ngai polisi ono whai ngā ue koe ni tau te whito ki ono veteki ai ngai network a koe ia o ngai aki nao tolu o nao whai ano whatawa te whai to o kona tapuna ne whaha whafofua ke kakai e toko te au tupu na e arrest pe na e puke e kao polisi whawhika akma whai to o kona tapu ka koe toko hiva ono pe ko osi tātiki te na ni toi paha pe whoki koe lahi taha whai to o kona tapu tu whaki hole fisi koe math pea oku kei hokoko atu pea whenga aki pea moe kau polisi. O whaafoki pea me pot ngā mo ui koe a ha moa kuna e tokoni koe a e anga Amerika whaafou mai hana ofisi a hono o mai hakau ngā ue ki fisi kata ki ha moa ke na ngā ue whataha pea moe kau ngā ue koia e pot ngā mo ui aha moa o ngā pe foke e kau ngā ue ta whakoia whawhai to o pea me pot ngā whakautau koia Amerikani ai au whiema o ke nao whenga e aki whataha tau te fito ki hono whahoko ai ngahi kliniki ka umai ngahi Polokalama ngā oe o tau mua ke toi lelei ange ai mo ulelei a kakai o haa mua ka watu kiai ki hono whakalelei ai ngai whare mahaki ai ngai whare mahaki me ahu oua ke hatou noa o epeleli ne tu utai ai kau matau tau koia ta whaaki koia o whawhaito o pe me Amerikani pe ane nau osi kamata ngā oe at lewa ke ngai whare mahaki kai uma ai ngai kliniki ke he pe ne whahafoki e he misiona koia soifua manuia ko e poupou koe ni pe me tokoni pe me fonuani me Amerika o kukawai ai tokoni ke kao specialty care ka umafo ke ngai tafa o whangawhatapu pe mo ngai ako pe whekau aki pe mo ui lelei o taki mai foki ai timi koe ni me Amerika e Daniel Terapaki ai na ane whaha ko taha pe whoke ngā ue a Amerikani ki ono tataki ai ngāhi Polokalama ngā ue whatau mua ki mo uilelei ai kākai te nau kei hoko atu pe whoke ngā ue ko ni ke ngāhi otu motu ke he o whaafoki me pune anga niwe ko tu uta hakau ngā ue pe a moha ambulance e tolu pe me nu sila ko kau ngawe ko ni te nau toni ai kau ngawe ko ya iniwe ki ngahi first aid kai uma afo ki ano fahafi ai mo uia kakai ko to valu ko ni pe me nu sila te nau a faho ko ni kai ngata pe no faho ke kau ngawe ka te nau wat foki ke ngai community mo kakai o kolo o new o kolo Ke toi ako iki nau tolu ke ngahi first aid kai uma a foki ai ngahi mea ke he pe wheka o aki mo ui lelei o whaha foki pe me pure anga niwe ai nau honga ia ko uhi koe whenga o aki whataha koe ni pe moe kakai koe ia o nuusila mo pure anga nuusila i ngahi toko ni kotoa koe ni. Ko e ngai o ngongo ia pe me he Radio New Zealand International. Te tau hoko atu ki a ngai o ngongo pe me Amerikani hili pe a ngai whanongonongo koe ni.
Malolele ko matai te kinikini no ka matai ke business ko Rectitude Consulting Services matau mo ke tokoni ki hana ka matai ha ki business asani ate mai sen mai vai fala mai vai to fanga business pe ka be fo ka no ka matai ha non-profit organization ko le ha fund ka be fo ki hana market di business ka be fo ke lava ke tokoni at ke file mo mai pepa no fo no America sitseni ko visa to fahinga me fa ingresin ni pe ka pe fo ke klau to koniat ke fixo pa ti pe ko hanu faili ha pepa vete mali pe ko hanu faili ha pepa pusiaki kauleka kama ai ka kaila lahi o lahi au pita malahi me ate lava to koniat wai ka ke me at ke website matarite kini is portfolio.com pe ko ha ta mai kini manatolu valtolu hiva valona fatolu kana whakaikiki malo pita si whanonga mai o whalahi atu.
Ko e lulu lahi ko ia ai teke hihi fo te whaha ko a valo si lai o ta uafe maua ni ma ko ngai pale oa o kai pale kes panga tahafe panga uafe ngatu toka wano a sto o mani veni se afitu veni se anima missing for airline ticket Australia ki Tonga me Tonga ki Australia return ticket tamo airline ticket New Zealand ki Tonga return ticket i kai ngatai mo ngahi pale ke ni manoa ko e tikite tola pe hongfulu tikite tola pe hongfulu fitak pe ke kina to ko ia ai committee i ngahi state ke pe o American tikite panga hongfulu fa hako ai lulu ko ni i kolovai pe i tomatampo i ahvalu ko ia kata ahonima ko ia o siulai o ta uafe mawanima ko teke hifo rafolia o uafe mawanima Eta wakai ni kia ngahi unyongongo me Amerikani kai umafoki ama manlahi. Na e peki a foki ai tuitapu koia. Ai tuitapu siasi katolika loma i aho monite. Ie aho monite aya koe aho monite toi tu ukoia o weekeni. Ko whapapau i mai whoke e whahoko aho no mea wha eiki e aho tokonaki i mu ape i he Pasilika koia St. Peter i he Vatican City pe koe kolo koia koe Vatikani ko os whai whoke a hono teu i pea moe ngahi. O ngahi o wau ke kehe e whahoko lolotonga koia a ene mea whaka eiki. Na e pekia fokieni ai tu itapu o e siasi katolika loma. Ko hono tau valungo fulu ma malu. Kono tau valungo fulu ma valu ne whafoki me Vatikani na ne pekia pe ye taimi toi minite wanima ke malu taimi koia ai Vatikani na e whahape fokia e ne pekia i loto pe i hiriha hoa ua wha hiria i hoa e ua wha i taimi na whahafoki pe me i he Vatikani a te koia ke whahoko e te teo peki whahoko a hono whiri koia o e tui tapu hono hoko i e ngai wike koia ka hoko mai ko Francis Foki na e whanau ia i Argentina pe ni hoko Foki koe tui tapu i e wafe ma tahatolu Ko e tō taha koe au ku ne whahoko pe o ku hoko hake ko e tuitapu leo pe i he Vatikani ko e tama Irish American ieni pe ko e Kardinali Kevin Farrell ko e tamani foki tene hoko atu ahono whapapau I koia ai ngahi o wau kotoa ke teu koia o e mea whaka eiki. Ai au whahako aho wano e peleli taimi koia a loma e aho tokonaki taimi hongo fulu pongpongi. Na e whahafoki pe me Vatikani ko tahafokieni ha mea whaka eike whaka historia ko ui ko ngai whotutu mo ngai whaka amu koia ai eiki tu itapu ki whakahoko lotonga koia ahano mea whaka eiki na ne toi pehe pe whoko fuafua tu itapu eni e toka ia I e crypt o St. Peter's peko Basilica koia St. Peter I Vatikani ko e kau tu itapu koia ki muane nau o nau lolotonga I he Rome's Basilica koia o Iloa ko St. Mary Major na te whahape whoki e Francis ko e tu itapu ai ngai a fonga koia a hono ki I casket ai au ne pehe ko casket e ai pe ngai pe me ud pe symbol ud and casket pe e te I aki pe e zinc e ke fokeni me ka tu tapu koia ki mu a na e na na toka ki na toluia I ngai casket na ngahia be me cypress ka umafo ke let be mo oak then the tau pe fo ke to la help te ka taki e fonua te ngai fonua ke maman te na ka watu I he wau o e fama vai ko ia be mo tu tapu o ka wa e Premia koia o Britania Circular Starmer ka uma Palestino Americani Donald Trump Palestini koia o Iran Palestini koia francais Emmanuel Macron ka uma foki et ka watu pe moe komsoni Palestini koia komsoni o European Union then au ka watu ai ka taki ke at fuktana ke fukai pe moe ka taki koia o ngai funga vaka o siasi ko e fonga koia de nau firi aki a e nau tu itapu fo o e thilia pe mau me kau kardinari pe iloa pe ko College of Cardinals ko ka kai tangata ko toa koe ni ne fili pe fokia e pe na e hirifaki ni ma pe ia e tu itapu o nau toko uangeau ni maua ka ko toko teo to ni mama teo to ni ma pe te nau cast nau paloti pe te nau kau I paloti ko nau tol koia o ta val noa pe to lahiange ko ka nau lava ke nau vote ke nau tol ka te nau kau at pe I hono alea I koia o e ka o e tu tapu fo o e fonga nga maheni o to fa hoko kamata hono firi koia tu tapu fo o e hiri ha aho e tahanima pe me morning period ka ia ta uafe ma tahatolu i ta imgoia ne pekia ai tu tapu koia kimu ana ne liliu e tu ni ke fra atape e malava pe ke filieni ki mua I aho tani ma pe to ki I early ange fa te tau pe ke fa amu koia ai kau kardinali o ku fafo ki ko nau tolu koia ai kau kardinali te nau kau atu koia ki he firi o e tu tapu fo o ko pau ke nau nofo I loto I he ko pau ke nau nofo I he ke Casa Santa Maria pe ko fale ko nisa guest house funga vaka nima I loto pe I Vatikani ko pau ke nau nofo ma upe I he faleni kai ki to he kai ke nau toi atake nau hu ki tu a pe kai ke nau toi atake nau ngawe aki ha telefoni pe access ke internet pe ko ha newspaper ko firi ko ni o ku fu ufaka secrecy au pito pe ko wa top tapuen I loto I 16 Japol pe ai kai ngata e ka ko e fale lotu ko ni o ku yai ko ia I painted ngoa Michelangelo I dem te tau pe foko to tako to pe ka kardinali ko ni pe mo nau paloti Tēnau o hake pe tēnau whiri pe ai fo I kātinari e toko taha ke ne hoko koia koe Pope I fo I voti e taha. Koe Pope fo o e whili o ka pau e au ai kau kantiteti ke fo I voti e hiva noa. I ngahi tau koia ngahi senturi kua maliwa tu ne au ai whiri koia o tuitapuia lau wike lau mahina pe au kia taimi ko iai hakau kardinali ya ko nau pekia peki nau tolu I lolotonga koia ai whiri koe ni o kau o tuitapu ka wei foki ko ngai fra ilonga ko ki mamani ko mahino ko whiri ai tuitapu fo o nau ngawe aki foki ai ki ahu pe ko smoke pe me simini ko ia o fale lotu ye taimi ko ia o ku ai ko ki smoke ko ni pe ko ahu ko ni ko hauia pe me ye taimi o ku tutu ai pe papaloti hiri ko ia ai whiri ka pauleva e ahu o kulanu uri aia o ku whamahino mai o te kei ke mau ai katinari ai popia pe ka paulewa e hao o ku lanu hina a mahino ia o ku mahino le mai ia ku osmau ku mahino ai tuitapu fo o ko Pope fo o leva ianga maheni tene ha leva I balcony ko ia o St. Peter Square hili pe I loto ia fo I hoa pe ta hili ahono whiri I he time ia
Hei wakai koe ni ki ta kofia. Me ta ko furu ko ta ko fitu. Kina to recommend ina ka ki fili.
Koe ai to ha pe koe ai ki ahulan hina pe to mahino ai to ta koe o kune hoko to mahino ko sma o Pope ka ko haina e hoko koe Pope. Aia koe qualify koia ke Pope ka taha katolika tangata katolika na o si papi I he siasi. Taim tau pe foki ka tangata koe ni ko pau ni o soko ia ko ulo tonga hoko koe kardinali. Ko Francis ko fofua ka ko fofua tu itapu ia me South America. Aia koe pesete wa malu o ka kai katolika I mamani o kunau I he South America. Because Southern Hemisphere. Ko mei koe kau tuitapu ki mua na e whiri pe ia me I ulope tatau te fito ke kau Itali. Ie kau tuitapu e wangea ono ko o si whiri wa o mai ke ahoni ko e wangea taha fitu I he kau tuitapu koe ni ko e kai pe ia o Itali. Aia ko ni pe ko fofua ato taha ni o whiri ato ko ia pe me South America. Ia taim te tau pe foki o ku hange ko to taha ko ni kardinali tene hoko ko tu itapu fra tau ke matala hange e to o mai pe me tu a me Europe outside Europe ka I taim te tau pe foki o wahake I to te au whanoa ai ka kai o hoko ai kau kardinali e lava ke nau kau atu ko ia ki he whiri ko ni aia ko e tukunga gai he taimini e iai foki pe amo e tamapirinisi Prince William aia ko e o Britania I he o wau ko ni pa ku iai foki pe amo Donald Trump Moi ka taki.
Kau top. Ia kina toro e hange basement fili me.
Koe.
Ia fahinga me to rame Itali to rame Filipaini to me Filipaini to rame Kanata. To rame Afrika me Congo. To rame Americani. Pea mo to tahame siapani, to tahame Kanata, to tahame Spain, to tahame Luxembourg, mo to tahame Hungary. Ka koe, me ka topo e ni meri. E fai kei, fa te toa, leo mo peo ata fokata. e depende me fukau recommendation kina vote, so the process can be long. Ila pe lawi, ila pe lau aho.
Ia anga whamatala koe ane nai. Ko ngahi whiri atu i tapu ki mu atu na ea upeia o mate ka o cardinali ni i loto i he ia nau no fuko tai tai. Kai fuki ngufua ke nau toi askitua ke ngufua ke nau telefone ke ngufua ke nau access to the outside world below tonga koe process koe ai whiri. Yeah. Kako taha tau ngahi uni o ngongo kutukwa tia me BBC News.
Me Amerikani e pe, ko whaha, me sekretari kai o Amerikani, Rubio, e taha o ngahi step, mo palani ke hokopa tu hano tukutuku koi a State Department, ai a whatau. Aia koe whamatala koe ni me he sekretaria koe o e whanuani. Ai ngahi palani ngā ue ke nauhanga o to'o ngahi whafofua ki ngai ofisi e te autolua. Aia o whafofua ki nau tolu o kunau mau ngahi position i Washington DC e fitu ngeau. Me ngai ofisi e te autolua ko ia, ko fitu ngeau o ngahi position te nao ngā to'o me Washington DC. Ko taha peni i ngahi o pehem he ofisi, kono tāpuni kone ngahi ofisi ni o whikau aki pia moe war crime, kai pehe foki ki he ngahi global conflict, Aia, pa kono whare taha, ko e ofisi ko nini nao focus, me hange ko ngau ko nei CIA e mari, Makono whanau no taha ia, te rā peke pehe ko CIA, koe ki nau hanga, parapare manga moe administration o koe ki nau mai angai whakaikiki koe ni, ka ihe agiu koe ni, whikawaki mono whia mao koe ni, ke whai a whakasisi ko ia ko nau osi, make up their mind ko haa e whaunga, e whakahoko pa koe ni, e unau pe, ko tuk koe ni e taini mi, ko tahape ia o ngahi palani administration koe ni, ke whatako si, mo tuku hifo ai ngahi te whaaki koe ni. Ang mahino pe ko se ai whiu ia he tō lai, ko hai risk koe a Amerikani, ki ngahi ngau e whakaspai mo hafua, lai apita ngahi mea, ue sia i anga koe e nau whakangai o ngahi to'o koe ni ngai por ngā ue, mo ngahi ngā ue ne nau whahoko, kaike, ka koe tuku ia koe i taini mi, ko pau whai ai liliu, pehe foki ke ngai department, whitungi au tolu whāga pehe ki, aia e to'o me whitungi au tolu whā, whafofua, ki he onongi au maua, whitungi au tolu whā, aia o pehe, ko taha peni ai reorganize, ngai proposal, ke focus, tara whito ki he maha whapure anga, paka domestic offices, o kau ki ai pa moe overseas embassy, ka pehe whuki ngai konsela, office konsela Amerikani, aia koe kau peni he whatahai. Aia o kunau pehe e whahoko ngāwe koe ni, puka no implement a ngahi liliu koe ni, aia o ko manai whahoko i siulai aho ulua ki o whatatau ki e memo ko toku mai me Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Lindau, aia i ne whahoko mai i aho i he pongpongi nia, aia ko ngahi proposal koe ni, mo develop koe ni, aia whahoko i a interim administration ki hono to'o ko ia o ngahi department, aia o ku pehe i kai ki ngantai kai pehe foki ki he toko lahi a ki nau toro overseas e mele to'o mana ngai ngā ue koe ni. I he taimi tarau pe, i he tōku koe ni he taimi mi, o ku ia ho haa me Supreme Court, aia o kuna hanga ta ofi whakataimi, a hono ngā ue aki administration ai Alien Enemies Act. O tui tau was whaatala noa whikawaki. Pea mohono ngā ue aki he ni ai o ngahi lao tutu uni une mai mawhai gina hanga whahoko ka te ungata pe i he Enemies Act aia nai whangawe aki pe kautai te tahano ngawe aki ka ku oangi rewa ai mawhai koe ni taimi o ku taua i Amerikani moha whonua o ku lava he paste ni ke ota o e kakai o e whonua ko ia ke tu atuna toki tua me Amerikani. Kaike, ka koe hohaa koe ni o whahoko he taha o e kauroia una honga whaile ai lawsuit koe ni whikawaki mo e kulupu i te sisi ne amanaki ke tuku atu ki nau tolu pe ko hono remove hena pe he ngai whamatala ni. Now si, he ka te kakai koe ni he pasi escort he kau polisi koe hanga tonu ki malai wapuna. Ki whitu koe ni whapuna e kakai koe ni kai he lo tonga pa koe whanonga tu mui he kau whai o ngongo he koe taimi koe ni koe nai whinga whawawawe koe a kau loia koe ni ki whimo whaire ki he Supreme Court pa whimo tuku mai ha whaitutu oni i he wawe taisa o kui koe case file and emergency appeal pea ko hia koe whakawawawe koe ni o pehe koe kakai koe ni buka whukulupu koe ni make taxation he piki koe ki nautolu wai ho haa he kulahi kakai koe ni mani nau whainga maria na tau ke nau sio ki he whamau paka hinga kono tau whi kau pehe he whamatala koe ripa koe penga hi viti ona wakai haki ai no tonga no escote te kalaska ni he pasi pea ko mene fatonga ka fai ngongo ko osfalaka na toria i he afi ko algo ki airport i pana mamalo ka me ko ukoko ta ko you turn mai pasi to foki mai o fa foki mai kakai e ko tuku mai ai tut uni fa vave me he Supreme Court hono pause in ngawe ka hiri ko ya meri o me ai ko hinga hena na os fai tu ne pe he ki administration ka ni ki na go ahead ngawe ake foi foi Enemies Act babo ge mai no Enemies Act you can look it up ka ko e tahani ngahi mafai ne hanga te ko tavalu hiwa no tavalu something we need to go back about ge mai no ka ko whainga mawhai. Tau pehe pen hanga taimina tau Amerikani ma siapani. Nai, haimena hoko e kau siapani, nai whamao popo nga to awe ki whitu o tāna keiki nau tolu, and so on. Ko whainga historia e oku. Lahi sika kai ue nau whia mai nau to e whanonga nau to. Keke, ka koe tū koe i he taimi ko hanga he Supreme Court o ta ofi whakataimi i he pongpong sāpate ni. Ke oua na whahoko. A hono tu watu o e kakai koe ni, he ko e tahani ka attorney me Venezuela ane whaire ai emergency appeal ki he Supreme Court i ne whaha o he oku fuiai au pito ai risk ki hono whafoki o e si kakai koe ni he oku te ki eike hanga administration koe ni o provide ai whahinga information pe ko evidence fika waki pe mo e na nga wa koe fa ke kai koe ni pe ko ia pe o ku fima o ia ke na to foki fa help for matalai fika waki pe mo kai koe ni he o ku i ga ngata pe Texas ka pe ko la nga ia bill i Louisiana ta tau pe mo nga hi fetu ke ka ko tu ko ni he taini mi o ku lahi au pito ai wesia mo ngai palombalema i Amerikani i ronga we aki o Enemies Act aia ne toki whaha mai mi he ta whakoia administration o toki ilo hake aki nau tolu koe ni oku puke i Texas ka pehe ke ngahi whitu ke pe i Amerikani o ngawe aki ai Enemies Act. Pako Enemies Act ka hape e nau whaitutu ni o waite whima kakaika ni ke nau sio ka whamau. Ka komenga o ki surprise e mani o whatapua i makainga. ko Supreme Court pe na na pe he ia lava ke mo ngau ya pe ko ni lahi launga pe ko ni o te hoha ki hono tau fi taimi ka ra do foki o famatana ki ka fa mau e na mea o ku fai e ko kamanta ke nga utai fonua lahi loto mamahi lahi hono mama e lao pe tau toksi o ka ha ai tu ni ko ni fi ka aki pe ma ngahi ngau e ko ni o ku whaka hoko emi
Me ngongo ko ia PBS News so ku ke kumi pe he pa preanga ko ia Donald Trump hi ngai ahoni hafonga eto le yang ai pe to falele ai nga we ko ni ki mass deportation I he whamatala ko ia ko mai PBS News me fa fofua ki fukakai to fitu afe o na tari i ngai detention center pe ko fe na fonga pe ko ha me hoko ka na tolu ko hono fa fo fa preangi na tolu pe ko no to anga na fa nga mali ke na si o ka fa mau anga lo tonga ko ya o ku ke nga we pe preanga ko ya ta mini ono tana ki atu ai nga detention center pe ko kakai ko pe ko feitu e ka tau hi ai kakai o ku na hanga o puke ko ya I he inga puke ko ya mass deportation eta una faha foki acting director of immigration because ICE agency Todd Lyons na ne faha ia konfelenisi I Phoenix e wike ko o si o ku albene taimi ke na hanga o hange hono fralele a deportation fralele ko ha business pe aguna ngau ake fainga system he taimi o function ia Amazon aya ko taha o ngahi fonga ko Amazon ko trying to get your product delivered in 24 hours aya ianga ko ia famatala ko ia acting director ai ko ne uhinga e lava ke na fenga ke tipo de kakai within 24 hours e dai mo na ma wai ko kin na tolo ai ko me fakatai aya ko o pehe ko custom enforcement agency I ICE Todd Lyons conference Phoenix we get ko see to get better at treating this like a business I miss deportation aya gune foko tu ko ke nga aki I fonga because system ko ya I deportation I fonga ko ya nga business hange ko Amazon aya ko lea o mai ko me Amazon o pe trying to get your product delivered in 24 hours aya ko uhinga ko fonga te na fai hona le taha ke ave fa foki ka kai go to donde fa foki ko mi America no nofta fala ni I loto pe ho wa fa ko va ve ange ko sai ange ia ko ui ko fulau ko fuka kai ko ni o na ke no fotari ko inga detention pe me ko to fitu afe pe I americani tu ke nga prisone ko ia hange ko Guatemala mo me ko sabe ke ka kai ko ogneto o fa foki ICE ai na fa fe nga ka ta pe ko nga companies ke na piti mai ke nga contract ko ia a hono operate nga detention center pe o faha foki me ya o ke pa anga fani ma miliona ai kamata ko ya nga agency ke na scale up aya ko patsete ta mini o ku current patset o me e fe unga pe ya pe moe no fo anga pe ko mo henga fa fo ke ka kai to fa mano ta hafe ka o fe ma o ke al hake ya ke nga no fo anga ke o ke ka kai to ta kilo pe ko 100,000 bed une pe te ya mai pa nga ka ko contract ya o osma we ke award aya ko na holoki he house the house I approve ko ya o kawa te panga te fitni ma miliona ke immigration enforcement aya ko me liunga o aya ai patset fakata ko ICE o ko ne pe foki e lava ke na tana ki mai ai nga detention center e te tupu nationwide I americani ke na lava o house a ka kai to fama no afe ko tu ko tai mini o ku overcrowd e feito ko to ape ka koe taha ngai fonga koe nau whahoko ke lava ke speed up mai koe ai deportation, ai mass deportation, koe nau alha ke lewa ke te whake taha tai mino whenga ke langa mo whakalahi koe ai ngai detention center. Me ko Louisiana, o kuia e ngai detention center koe ni, wai lahi o pita ngai detention center ai, o pehe koe detention center lahi taha ia I mamani whakakatoa. Sorry, fika aua ia ke lai taha. Nai pefo ki ko Louisiana ia. I taim te tau pe o kulaha pita launga ai kakai ko he ko Louisiana ko e nau detention center anau tolu ia pe ko e feituko puke ai kakai o ku ave ia o ku mama lau hou ai whaka uria pe me he city ki he feituko ki detention center. Aia o lahi lewa ai ko city o kuia kau loya ma kakai nau whai ko support toko ni o lau ngā lewa kakai ko o nau loto I ngai detention center ko no uhinga ko no ave ngai feitu e ko ni o tu mama o pe me city mama o pito me city whai ngata ake nau feitu tak mo ai ma nau kau loya they're so isolated. He tai mi ko si ave na to ke ngahi mama o pito pe me ngahi city okay ai facility e taha o ai facility e taha izina ai ang me te ne lava tau hi kakai to fa fe wangea me mai le e wangea wanoa me New Orleans ai o ku na be fo community ko ni ko fo hotel pe taha around that place ko in pe agula he obita launga ai kakai kai ngata pe kakai na lot of detention center ko uhiga na ko na hono fra ma he pe he ki na tolo kai lava na family ai mai ke lava pe moe now lawyer and all those people can now see ai mai ki e time the tau pe he el taha lawyer o immigration services ko Homero Lopez na ne pe he o na o sanga pe na tolo ai na fa fofonga I loto ki he Louisiana detention center ke no fo fiatu ke feito unico nga ki he ngai senta ko ni ko nga ke na fa na toko ni pe ko hai fi ma toko ni ka ko palpale ma ko he ngai ahni o ku
Te tāna ke pe kia I ko ngā kula pita ngā hili pōti I kai ngā ta pe hono puke o ki ngā tolu e o sitseni kai pe ka ki ngā tolu e kau green card holder pe ahi mo kau mo ki ngā tolu mau green card o ku puke ki ngā tolu pe I ku e nā po tauhi ki ngā tolu pe koe whiu I ko ni koe ai toko lahi Kahapea ko puke ai a kau green card holder ko kina tolu mau pepa whanua ko e tari koi ki ai kau loe a tola Io o malawa pe ki a tola taha o ku mau pepa whanua ki kau me no tipo tau te fito pau ina mau I halau pe o stutu ni fa mau ke to kau te ai ke nau mawahe nau to kau e kalasi ko ia of course he was maui ke fa foki nau to sai koe tala noa koe ni oku sino mai o whika waki a mo ki nau tolu ai ane nau mamai na ta foi lao e meri 80s pe 90s ka oku nau kei green card holder pe au ke ngai hon pe mahal ne ngalo ia nau tolu ne nau ngai fui tiki te lalai pe pa pea ko ki nau tolu ia oku iku puke o tauhi ka koe lao I kai ki lama I mi ke nau hanga moe ais ke nau hanga o to'o ho Kanti koe whamau e tāte ne lava. Ko mea ko o kue ho haa mo whia mau. I rau taha ko tau bewa nau totonu I nau si o ke whamau. O ka pau ne aha ki alpare mai ho. I o whanonga mea ko ia. Pea ko ia o koe tāna ke peke mea kano ke whamatake. Ko kua ngō whaasi koe me Amerikani. Wada tau ki CNN Ko e si kāinga me North Carolina. O kuna au whakewhinga whakakeake. Talu meihe a whako ia o Heleni. Aia, ia ngata pē, ai lei ofu koini o e CDC Disaster Team, ka hili pē ai whako ini. Aia, ko me meko ki nau tolu koini i Swanana no River Valley of Western North Carolina. Aia, pēka mahinain e fitu mei ai. O ku kei whakotu at pē ngai wharo, ai ngai veve ma ngai me o ku kei pāla pē ngai whetu ai. Te kei ke whahanga o e ki ai. Tara whina nau tole nau, si no whakangai, te niti o au ke ngai RV, aia, o ku ki kau ki nau tahe o e sia. E ko taru e whanonga tata o Trump, i Sanuari, aia, hiri be aha wha, mene hoko. E tuku pāhei e whai e toko ni whawawawe ke langahake o ki nau tolu. Pea whatatau whamatala koe ni, nai ki timina nau asiatu i e pereri a hau aki e whatatau whamatala koe ni. E koe kautama koe ni me US Center for Disease Control and Prevention Disaster. Aia ko unity koe ni, nau so up. O whatatau whalomesa Donald Trump. Ka, o ku pehe, koe talu me ai e meri, o ke kia whinga au e te taha e whai. Pe wai ho ha, ki ngai tu pāna, pehe, toa nia kakai koe ni, tua i tani mi, o te whanga. Pea koe ai, o ku, e a loto mamahi i kakai koe ni, i ngai whawa mesi o kei ke hoko. O te me marofu, he focus administration koe ni, deportation, o whima i nau toa ni, kakai whawa mai.
Koe ngata ngai tau ngahi uniongongo koe ia ki he hoa niu.